Last time on Square Roots, Rashawn is pulled in three directions as our heroes split up to grant Garl his make-a-wish. Later, we meet the world's biggest butler and get our travel visas approved. Next stop, the third dimension!
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Hello, Jim. Hello, listeners. Hello, Jim's friends.
Johnny LeJug Elisandrell Brandon.
More like La Jugs, am I right? Bearsies, woomph, woomph, woomph.
And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs one chunker at a time. And this is the sixth and final episode in our series on 2023, 2024? 2023 Sea of Stars.
It's our last episode of 2023.
That's where I thought Jim was going with it.
No, 2023 Sea of Stars. Are we doing a squarely against for this one, or is this an instant classic?
What are you
think we have
talking
to.
about? We always do a squarely against.
Do a squarely against.
Maybe
Why are
we
you
should do
trying
an
to
instant classic too.
Stop breaking the format, buddy.
It's 2025. Nothing matters anymore.
He's trying to harass me specifically because he knows that I will be squarely against this game.
Before we get into our hot takes about Sea of Stars, does anybody have any hot gaming news they would like to share with the group?
I do. Assassin's Creed Shadow has been pushed back again. This time, I believe, to May of 2025, because Ubisoft is looking to sell
Sell what?
I wonder.
itself, I think.
The company.
Ooh, like a
Yeah.
whore.
Yeah,
Like
I
a
wonder if they'll
whore.
even release that
Vanessa.
game. Like, why hold on to
Swerker.
it until? Do you think because they'd be valued more with the
Yeah.
game being finished and unreleased?
I think that they're maybe trying to pump up like revenue or whatever at a certain point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like next quarter or whatever, so that they can be like, look at how much money we made off the Assassin's Creed games, because they know it's going to sell well.
Yeah.
I think it's going to sell well. I think people are excited about it.
I have some hot gaming news.
What is it?
Are you ready for the 50 series of NVIDIA cards? The latest and the highest power
Oh, I
video
read about
game
this.
playing cards for computers possible. Are you ready for new levels of graphics with more rays traced, more frames generated? The ultimate in low latency, high power gaming courtesy of NVIDIA. Boo, 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 boo.
I guess.
I wasn't, but now I feel like I might be, because you got me so excited about it.
I don't know what I'd
am-
really need to do to be ready for that.
I am going to probably get a 50 series card when the 60 series cards come out, because that's when they get cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is your hot gaming news? You
That
may
is
buy
my hot-
graphics cards?
Well, they
no,
released a
it's
whole
that-
new line of cards. They have the 50 series cards out now.
They've had like reviews and stuff. Like the 40, 70, and 40, 80 are double the performance of the last generation. So that's a lot of numbers and crunching. It's pretty good.
Squish those numbers.
Yeah,
Squish them good.
Squish and crunch. There's a new trailer for Xenoblade Chronicle X.
Whoa.
Anything,
That's a game series you like, right?
Yeah, I do. And you do. Remember how much you loved it when you played Xenoblade Chronicles?
Yeah, I do. I got to play with the Menudo sword.
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
Monaro.
Monado.
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 Yeah.
Menudo. That's a
Yeah.
soup. I
Remember
think.
how it was set on two giant robots, which were the only landmass on the planet?
Mm-hmm.
That was
Remember
pretty cool.
Mommy wife or whatever that was?
Mm-hmm.
Sister wife?
Yeah. Sister girlfriend thing. Yeah. There's a new Carmen Sandiego game.
Oh.
Vanessa loves those. But Vanessa, I feel like you already know your geography.
I'm pretty good at geography. I'm much better than I used to be. I felt really self-conscious about my lack of knowledge of geography, so I spent some time conscientiously training myself to learn where countries are.
Where's Bolivia? What
South
continent?
America.
Great
South America.
job.
Also down there, Uganda. Bolivia and Uganda are the two countries I always forget are in South America.
I always think Uganda's in Africa.
Is it? Am I wrong?
I think it might be.
Oh no!
Are you thinking
What
of-
am I thinking
also
of?
thought
Uruguay.
Uganda was in Africa.
Uruguay.
Uganda
you're
is in
thinking of
East Africa.
Uruguay.
Are you
Uruguay.
thinking of Uruguay?
Uruguay. That's what I was thinking
Uruguay?
of. Oh man, I'm still terrible at geography. Look what I've
All
done.
right, so then
What an absolute whiff.
yeah, go get that Carmen Sandiego game, Vanessa, because you need it.
I'm supposed to be the smart one too.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, it's
We're
back
all
to being the
shocked
hot
and surprised. Yeah. That's the backup.
I have some hot gaming news.
All right.
Tencent Holdings Limited, who I believe is the publisher of PUBG, has been branded a Chinese military company by the U.S. government.
Excuse me?
No! And this is by the Biden administration. This isn't a Trump thing.
What? So
Tencent's new status is the result of a 2020 executive order issued by then-President Donald Trump, which prohibits United States investors from purchasing or investing in Chinese military companies and their subsidiaries.
I see.
Huh.
So all along, PUBG has been providing the Chinese with information about American
Yeah.
military readiness by telling them how good their
Number one American target
Yeah.
before invasion, Paul.
Tencent did respond and say that it was clearly an error and that they're not related to the they're not a military company or supplier, and that they were going to work with the Department of Defense to address the misunderstanding. So
I don't know.
I do have one more piece of hot gaming news. This is about all of your pre-orders for Mighty Number 9 on 3DS. They have been canceled.
Oh no!
no, that's illegal.
Sorry, buddy. That game is never coming to 3DS.
That game sucked anyway. Sorry, people that were waiting for it still.
I didn't.
The
really...
main character does look like a Nintendo Mii.
I got some hot gaming news.
Let's hear it.
Oh man, there was a big ol' leak again of what people claim is a video.
Vanessa, it's okay. It happens to everyone.
People say there was a video of the Switch 2 popping around.
I saw that video.
I saw it too. It looks like a Switch.
It does. It seems like it could be
Except-
It seemed like it was somewhat credible given the quality of the video and the amount of detail it had about the console itself.
You'd think
It
that they would
seemed
try
credible.
to differentiate it, like, physically somewhat, though.
Well, the
It
new
looks like
Joy-Cons
the
might
Joy-Con
be
like
mices. You might be able to
Yeah,
use them
and-
as a mouse.
Like a teeny
they're
little
like
mouse.
what it looked like was and you can slide the grips off of the back, so you can slide the grips off the back and you can detach the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, it seemed to have like different styles of grips for like different hands,
Yeah.
like for comfort or gaming. I don't know, gaming
Or
success?
for big hands, or
Big hands,
ladylike
little lady
small
hands.
Yeah.
hands.
But by and large, it looked exactly like the Switch.
Weird.
What I
Yeah.
realized from watching
Guess
that
we'll see.
video is that I am just like not a hardware person. It doesn't get me excited. I don't ooh and ah over it. I need to see that software.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to be excited about the Switch 2 unless there's a game I really want to play on it.
I mean, they only put one mainline Mario game out for the Switch, and it's their longest running console ever. That feels bizarre to me.
They're
And
like
it was like a day and date release, wasn't it? Mario Odyssey?
No, it came out later that year.
Still fucking weird.
Yeah, there's only one real Mario game for Wii U, and that was Mario 3D World.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of count the 2D side-scrolly platformer, so I would say there were two.
There's a couple of those,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, there's one.
yeah.
I actually think that was a
There's that-
remaster of a Wii game.
No,
so
there was
maybe it
definitely a
doesn't
new
count.
one. It was new.
There's that, like,
Mario
Bowser's
Brothers
Rage or whatever,
Wii
right?
U or something.
Wasn't there like a Bowser's?
That was
Bowser's
an
Angry-
add-on. That was an add-on to Mario 3D World.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the re-release of 3D World on Switch had that.
What about like Mario Party Town or something? That's a Mario game.
I don't think that counts in Matt's estimation. 'cause
Matt's
it's not, it's a
narrow
board game.
definition of what
It's
a
not
Mario
a
game is.
mainline of
Yeah,
what a
'cause it's a board
mainline
game.
Mario game is. Yeah, if it's not a regular Mario game, if it's Mario does this or that, that would not be a mainline Mario game.
Although if there's a Mario adjacent franchise that releases more often than what you consider a mainline Mario game, does that then become the new mainline Mario series?
That's a great point, Jim.
No,
And what about
nobody said it was based on how often they release.
Mario Maker 2?
That's what I'm saying.
Mario Maker
Nobody
2
said
was
it
on the
wasn't.
Switch, and that's the only Mario game you need.
It's true. You can
never
make whatever
interested in
game
that.
you want. I have some hot gaming news.
How hot?
I'm listening, buddy.
They announced the release month of the new season of The Last of Us.
Whoa.
All right.
And they released like a short little teaser with some footage from the show, the new season. And a bunch of people on the internet like put the clips they showed up against like scenes from the game, and they were very close. So people are getting pretty hyped.
Do you think
Although
they'll do the full second game in the second season? Or
it
do you think they'll
definitely
stretch
seems
it?
like they are, based on like
Man,
who
what
they
do they
cast.
do after that? That's it? Two
I know.
seasons and they're done, I
Like
guess?
based on because like Jeffrey Wright's in it, and that has to do with like when you play as like in the second half of the second game, basically is when he's in it. So, and there's lots of other stuff that references stuff that doesn't have to do with what we know so far. So yeah, it's definitely seems like they're doing at least most of that second game. So
My crazy hot take is
I want
that
them to be in a kart racing episode.
my crazy hot take is that it's okay for a show to just do 2 seasons and that be it.
Yeah, it's just kind of
Yeah.
shocking. I
And-
agree with you 100% that if they think that's the story and they want to get it done correctly and like not drag it out, then I'm all about it. But it's just kind of surprising
Yeah.
that HBO's not like, money please, more Last of Us.
But also, like, the guy who run the showrunner for that, who I think his name is Craig Mazin, he does, like, tons of great stuff for HBO. So I'm sure, like, he's probably cooking up something really great after
That's a good point.
The Last
What
of
about
Us. He makes
in
a ton of
season
great shows.
3? It's about them like in an alternate reality where they've all died and this is the afterlife and they're trying to make up for what they've done before. They all have like slightly different roles in the apocalypse. Like Joel is a cop or a firefly, and I don't know what the girl's name is. but
I hate
she-
that.
Ellie. I think
Oh.
it should be more like half of the show takes place in zombie world, and then half of it it's like they're in some other world where they just have normal jobs, and Joel's like the
Yeah, that's what I'm
principal
thinking
of
of.
a high school, and
Yes.
yeah.
Exactly.
I totally see your vision, and
The
I love
last
it.
season of Lost joke. That's where I'm going for.
Yeah,
I actually
that's what
looked
I
him
figured.
up, and I don't know that you're right, Jim. He was a writer and creator on Chernobyl.
Yeah, Chernobyl's a good show,
and
though.
The Last of Us.
Did he
And
do
that's
something
it.
else, too?
As far as he is a writer for Mythic Quest, which is an Apple show. Oh, just one
That's
episode.
okay. Was it one of
and
those like arty episodes?
He's
Artsy,
a
I should say.
writer, producer, director for some movies as well, but nothing good.
Maybe I was
Scary
well,
Movie 3 and 4.
I did like Chernobyl,
The Hangover
but
2 and 3.
for some reason
the
I thought-
Huntsman, Winter's War.
I thought he was associated with that other thing that I guess he's not. So maybe I was mistaken. I did like Chernobyl, though.
I have
Oh,
been
go ahead.
keeping the dark and horrible secret of the plot of Last of Us 2 from Vanessa's mom, and I am looking forward to being able to let go of that, because she really liked the first season of The Last of Us, and she loves Pedro Pascal, and I ain't told her nothing.
Why is your face being lit up in a variety of like LED colors?
You know why.
No, what is it? Like, that's not a phone. It's like going all sorts of crazy colors.
It's not her
She's
phone.
got
She
a
has a
switch
switch
tonight.
in her hand.
She's ignoring us. She doesn't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I have
thought-
one
I thought you were,
last
like,
more piece of
holding
hot
something.
gaming news.
I have one last piece of hot gaming news, and it's that Sony released some details about the impending Until Dawn movie that I think's going to be released in April. And they said it's going to have a totally different story with a totally different cast of characters.
What is the point?
Yeah, why not just make another teen slasher movie?
Yeah, there's nothing that unique about that. Like, Until Dawn didn't come up with its own unique monster or something. It's not like a...
Yeah,
It's just
the novelty of Until Dawn is that like you're playing it like a supermassive game, and there's all these different branching decisions that can affect what's going on. So like at that point, it's just like another horror movie.
yeah, seems like a weird, but they think that name will sell it. It's
Yeah,
like
maybe.
that. Remember that iRobot movie that starred Will Smith?
Yeah,
Yes.
I've seen that
It
movie like
wasn't-
10 times probably.
That was based on like the director's own like script or like book maybe, or somebody's book that had nothing to do with Isaac Asimov's iRobot, and then at the end of it, it's like inspired by Isaac
Asimov.
Asimov's iRobot. Like, what? Then why did you use the name? What are you talking about?
That was one of
This had nothing to do with it.
one of Square Root's podcast favorite actors, Alan Tudyk's first voice roles. Alan Tudyk as iRobot.
Oh yeah, he does play the robot in iRobot.
Okay, I
And
guess
Will
I have
Smith
one
played
last piece
I.
of. Will Smith played the eye, obviously.
I thought James
what I
Cromwell
said.
played the I in iRobot.
I thought I was the I in iRobot, because I, the audience member, was watching the movie.
I thought it was I, the monkey from Super Monkey Ball.
I have a last piece of hot gaming news here that I thought Jim would mention, but he didn't because he hates it.
Oh.
Kingdom Hearts 4 details teased by Tetsuya Nomura.
What exactly did he tease? Because I read that statement and I was like, this is like as far away from what I would consider Kingdom Hearts 4 relevant than.
He said it's going to mark the
thought it
beginning
could
of a
be.
new storyline called the Lost Master Arc, and it
But
has
they
been
know
described
that.
as the beginning of the end for the Kingdom Hearts saga.
Yeah, okay. See, they're going to be putting out games till like 2035.
Yeah, like, Kingdom Hearts 4 isn't going to come out for 12 years, so I'm not going to get upset about it being
Yeah.
the beginning of the end.
How long was it between Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3? It was like a long time.
3 was a long time in
It
development.
was 14
a real long
years, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It was a long time.
What game franchises do you think will outlive you?
time. Kingdom Hearts,
Call of
Kingdom
Duty.
Hearts, Final
Call of
Fantasy,
Final Fantasy,
um,
Elder Scrolls,
Elder Scrolls,
GTA.
yeah. Fallout.
Man,
A
all of
lot
them?
of them.
You think all
I've
of
got
these
one
are
foot in
just
the grave
gonna
over
keep
here.
going?
Pretty much all of them. Mario, Zelda.
I mean, unless there's a nuclear apocalypse, in which case it's probably going to be a draw.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well,
Just a fun thing
are
to
we
think
done?
about.
Is it? Well, what's a game series that you would be embarrassed if it outlived you?
Ooh. Mario Party.
What? Mario Party will never die. These games are fun as hell.
They're trash.
What?
What's that, like, gotcha dress-up game that everyone's obsessed with these days?
Dreamlight Valley.
No.
Genshin Impact?
No, it's like a girl's name, like lovely dress-up
Oh,
Lolita
yeah.
or something.
No, it's like Pretty Arena or
Pretty-
gosh.
Pretty girl.
I know what you're talking about.
Nice lady.
Oh, PUBG.
PUBG.
No. It's
I would
another
be embarrassed if
Chinese
PUBG
military-run game.
It's good fashion designer, fashion girl. Let me see, fashion. Gotcha.
Infinity Nikki.
Infinity Nikki.
Oh, I've seen a lot of news about that. I was like, what is that game?
It's free to play. You could pick it up and give it a try anytime, Jim.
I could. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Here's some hot gaming news. I just got followed by an OnlyFans bot on Blue Sky.
That's
All right.
exciting. Congratulations on your new friend.
Whoa.
You're not allowed to pay for OnlyFans subs with Patreon money. By the way.
Too late.
Yeah. Why do you think there's been nothing in there for a while?
Ooh, we have some notifications. Oh, I don't like that guy's name. I'm not going to read that guy's name of our notifications.
Do we have any DMs?
Yes.
From who?
You?
What does this?
Oh,
what does
wow.
it say?
Look at me. I'm the Squares Podcast. I'm so funny. I like nerd games. Min-max. Give me some XP. Level up. Hee-haw. Wow.
Oh, that was a DM.
This is from Jim Banks, the Texas senator?
Texas
right?
Senator.
Ever since Johnny kicked me out of the Square Roots Blue Sky account, I still get notifications pop up. And I got the notification that Jim had been negging the account, but then I went to look at the skeet or whatever and it wasn't there. Now I know it's because it was a DM.
We also got a DM from Samu Mitchell saying, Cloud Strife telling everybody he's a soldier first class. And then there's a line that says Professor Hojo. And then the following video. Hold on a sec. This is very important, Matt. Don't complain.
Complaining. Complaints.
I can't hear it.
Fucking watching videos and talking about it on the show.
Oh, hold on a sec.
All right, well, we have some streams that we want to plug. Come check out the Square Roots YouTube channel. We've been doing some hot streams on a weekly-ish basis. It was the holidays. Leave us alone. But we're back. Last week, we streamed the end of Illusion of Gaia, and because there was a lot less left in that game than we thought, we then streamed about an hour of Jim playing Kingdom Hearts 2.
We've paid a lot of attention.
We got a lot of that game to play. I don't know if you guys remember how long that game is.
It's
Good,
pretty
'cause
long.
It's a real good fucking time.
Yeah, and it's popular. People like watching us, watching you specifically, stream Kingdom Hearts. It's like our most
Yeah, we had a
highly watched
small
video.
influx of viewers.
They
Yeah.
want to see Jim do it. They want to see Jim. They want to see him do it.
Yep, we're all excited to move into Kingdom Hearts 2 and Jim streaming and me not having to play the fucking game. I don't like being the
Matthew
one that
was
plays
a
the
man
game.
who played Illusion of Gaia, and he didn't like it.
But you did
much.
such a good job.
No, I'm glad I played it. I did want to say that. I meant to last night. I am glad I played it. It's a game that I've thought about playing for a long time. I've wanted to try it out. I'm glad that I finally did it. I'm glad I beat it. It's a lot like this show. You know, I don't always love the games, but I do like playing through and finishing some of these games that I, either have always meant to or had started and then kind of stopped on. So it's cool. It's cool. I had a good time overall doing it on the stream with my buds. And overall, though, not a great game. Anyway, come check that out on Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m.-ish. We usually start a few minutes late because we're busy setting up. Furthermore, our friend Johnny Brandon has his own channel that you can check out
true.
called Bears in Games Neo.
Now,
Johnny,
I
why don't
do
you tell us about that?
allow any of you to record a rant if you want me to include it, if it's on a subject that you are interested in. For instance, I did invite Vanessa to talk about a gay dog in King's Quest VII, but she declined.
Well, I
Or
don't.
she didn't. She said she'd
That's
think
right.
about it.
You're doing another history of gay culture in gaming.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Maybe
why
it's
I've been
time for
playing
me
so
to
much
pull the
Lucid
cork on
Larry.
this whole. Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve rant I've had in my back pocket for the last 8 years. Oh, suddenly he doesn't want to let me on the show.
No. I'll let you on
Fine,
the show.
silence my opinion.
I won't silence your opinion.
John, why do you hate the First Amendment? Because you're Canadian?
Is
Yeah,
that the
probably.
gun
It's
one?
2025. Donald
No.
Trump is president again, and I'm a straight white Christian boy.
Yeah.
What can I say? I love country music and voting for Republicans. Please don't put me in a camp.
Well, Donald says that Wayne Gretzky is going to be the governor of the state of Canada. So get ready for that.
Oh, not that Donald. Sorry.
Vanessa, there is a moratorium on this show about discussing current events and political news.
Is that a current? I guess it is, because it is real, like it was really said. But I don't know if saying that Wayne Gretzky's going to be the governor of the state of Canada can really be considered news.
All right, so Bears and Games Neo. Back on track.
Leisure Suit Larry Goes Gay episode is. I'm working on this on the stuff right now. I found some gay content playing through Leisure Suit Larry 2, a game I'd never played before. I was surprised. I got I'm guessing about a third of the way through without even looking at a guide. That one seems to have like the most straightforward puzzles of any Sierra game I played in a while. Like, there wasn't a
We also
part where I was
found
like,
some extremely problematic content.
Oh, yeah, that was in Leisure Suit Larry 3. At least I figured out a way of being able to put it into my video by, instead of implicating ethnic groups, I used fantasy ethnic groups like Ronso and Hrothgar and Minotaurs.
That's fun. Let me ask you a question. It's my impression that even though these Leisure Suit Larrys tease being essentially pornography, that Leisure Suit Larry himself rarely, if ever, has any kind of actual coitus with a person, and it's just about him wandering around trying.
That's a great question. Does
I would agree with you.
Leisure Suit Larry ever have coitus?
There is so much fucking in Leisure Suit Larry 3. There's so much fucking. He gets to fuck a lot in that game.
Wow.
Yeah. There's some very good, like, the sex scenes are pretty silly, but they're kind of surprisingly horny. And you see his penis several times.
Really?
Yes.
Is it like
Now
an
Vanessa's
FMV?
interested.
Sorry?
Is it like an FMV?
Yeah, is it
No,
FMV?
it's
plays
like
Leisure
real
Suit
chunky
Larry?
EGA graphics.
Does James Acaster play Leisure Suit Larry?
Probably. Like, he plays it because he thinks it's a great game. I don't know if he's, like, starred as.
Oh, Leisure Suit Larry!
Well, this has been a shocking
Oh,
turn of
Leisure
events.
Suit
Bears and Games
Larry.
Neo. Go like and subscribe to that right now, please. It's great. And Johnny also released a big, 5-6 hour compilation of all of his
3.5.
Kubert Opens Worlds.
Can we call it a compilation?
Yep, we can call it a compilation of all of his Kubert Opens Worlds videos. GTA 3, Driver, Simpsons Hit and Run, and probably some more. And was there one more?
No, well, Simpsons Hit and Run is not included in that. It's the first 5. So
Oh, I see.
It is, yeah. And I'm going to be doing that again for the next 5. But right now, I'm still working on the 7th one. That'll come out after the Larry video.
I always like stuff like that. So, yep, if you haven't watched it, you can catch up via that new compilation video that Johnny has released. Check it out, Bears and Games Neo. Like and
I
subscribe.
also fixed some errors in doing that compilation video, so go me.
Oh. Like factual errors or flubs? And
No, like aspect ratio and stuff like that, mostly. And a couple of incorrect title cards.
Today is gonna be the day that Johnny gets a lot of likes and subscribes.
Well, you could have said a lot of views, and it would have like gone with the song, been a good
By now,
parody.
I'm sure somehow you've already liked and subscribed. I don't want to believe that anybody hasn't
likes,
done that yet,
subscribed.
or else you're fucking dead to me. All right.
Wow.
Time for the archive.
Yeah,
This
this
is
chunker opens with
exciting.
a sweet boss fight.
So we're finally going to discuss the final chunk of Sea of Stars here. Jimmy, can you give us a little rundown on what happened last time? Because
Yeah, Jimmy.
Sure.
Please
don't
Last
remember.
time Garl died. He died on the back of a dragon that he named Wentworth. And then we got
Do you
to
think that he
cross the
died
Sea of
because he was
Stars.
so excited that he just orgasmed so hard that he died?
I think that's how everyone dies.
Oh, you think like
Ooh.
the like
Le
the
Grand
final
Mort.
experience is an erotic one?
You know who'd be able
think
to
it
fill
must
in
be.
more about this, Vanessa, about these Le Petit Morts?
Le Petit Moore here to tell you about
Le
the truth
Petit Moore?
of the afterlife. That's right, it's me, Le Petit Moore. Friends, sometimes you might fear death, but let me tell you, there's nothing to be afraid of when it comes to consensual, one-on-death experiences.
So you're saying don't fear the Reaper, Lepity?
You don't fear him, but you better treat him right, 'cause he's a sweet boy.
Aww.
So would you say that Garl was interrupted?
Duh.
His life, that is. Garl
Was he a
interrupted.
Garl with a dragon tattoo?
I think he does. I think he has a big tattoo of Wentworth.
Yeah, he probably does. It's probably like right on his lower back, like right
It
above
is,
his butt.
yeah. It's like it starts like the tail is on his lower back, and as it goes down, it winds down into his butthole.
If he was in a
my God,
sci-fi, in an Australian sci-fi Doctor Who type series, would it be called The Garl from Tomorrow?
I think Garl just wants to have fun.
I think Garls just want to have fun. Wouldn't that be better? I don't want to give you notes here,
because
but
I tried to do that and you got all on me. You were like, "Oh, so
Well, you
what,
used the
multiple
apostrophe
girls?"
incorrectly, and it was
even
frustrating.
Used an apostrophe, and I was like, "No, it's not multiple girls because I put the apostrophe." And you're like, "Oh, it's possessive," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's like Richard Osman's House of Games. It's girls just
All right,
want to have fun."
We've gotten off track. Would you say that Earth Garls are easy?
yeah, they are.
Johnny wishes.
You know, speaking of characters that should have that may or may not be having sex in their video games, Garl should have gotten laid in this game.
I think he does.
Yeah.
In the true ending.
You think? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
You know, in the town
Actually,
of
can
Mirth.
we just rewind a bit? Can I go back to the first joke that I made? Would you say that he's a gone Garl?
He is
Yeah,
a gone
he's dead.
Garl. Took you a long time to get to that one, buddy.
Hey, you know,
It was worth it.
just trying. I'm just a Garl. Just a little Garl.
I'm just a girl looking at a dragon, begging for him to let me ride his back.
I'm just a girl in the world. And that's all that you'll let Garl be.
He's such a mean girl. You know what I mean?
Get it out of your system. Keep going.
Garl's night out.
All right. Is that it?
It's a Barbie girl. I
feel
in
like-
a Barbie world.
I feel like we can
Garl strip.
Ah, that's a good one. Anything else?
Girls Gone Wild.
Never met a girl like you before.
Vanessa, he's not a Garl gone wild. He's my Garl.
Talking about my girl. Garl. My girl. All right. Where were we?
Now we're
Let's
good.
talk a little bit more about what a Garl wants.
Let's guys just Google song and movie titles with the word "girl" in it, and just keep going. I'm not editing. What do I care?
Oh no!
You know
Not
what
just
I
a
really
not a
girl,
Jersey
not
girl,
yet
you
a
know?
woman.
Yeah. What I really want for my birthday coming up is one of those American Garl dolls, you know? I know they're kind of out of fashion.
This is the worst segment we've ever done.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we already did this in the group chat the other day.
Yeah, but they didn't hear it, so we're rehashing it for them.
Look, we can all
Are we done?
agree
My
that
girl-
he was just a simple guy, a real Garl next door type.
My Garl Friday. All right, let's move on.
We're swinging wide now. All right, so this chunker opens. We have crossed the Sea of Stars. We're at that first kind of landmass, and oh my gosh, this chunker opens with a boss fight.
Yeah, right away.
Right away. No enemies, just a boss, and it's the Guardian robot. I like the bosses in this other area because they get more and more damage looking as you take away their HP, and I think that looks really good.
That one whose face falls off is pretty
Yes,
cool.
that's pretty rad.
So as soon as you beat this one, then Sarai's like, okay, I guess there's something I should show you. So she rips off her mask, and it's a robot face. She's a Snatcher from the game Snatcher.
Yeah, she has a robot face. She's a Terminator.
I thought this was great because we all knew, with one exception, that she was the pirate, and so they sort of faked us out by doing this reveal, which was not actually a reveal, and then having all the characters be like, yeah, we know that, and then they're like, psych, we only did that so you wouldn't see the real reveal coming, that she is a robot face.
A Snatcher.
Yeah. I don't know what Snatcher is.
Have you all not played the amazing gory horror adventure game by Hideo Kojima, Snatcher?
We have all not
Ugh,
played
I guess
the
I'm
amazing
streaming-
gory horror game by Hideo Kojima Snatcher.
I guess that's when it's Johnny's turn on the stream.
Who's Hideo Kojima?
Metal Gear Solid, Death Stranding,
Doesn't ring any bells.
Starfucker. He's a starfucker like Vanessa.
Yeah, just like me.
Yeah. Anyway, next time it's Johnny's turn to choose a game for streaming, I think we should do Snatcher. It's ideal for that because it's out of print. You'd have to pirate it to play it, but streaming it is A-OK.
Is it
How is
based on that Brad Pitt movie?
No.
Is there a
Snatch?
Brad Pitt movie called Snatcher? Oh,
Snatch, yeah. That one has a couple of hot boxing beefy boys in it.
I'm a hotboxing beefy boy.
No, you're not.
You're a hot
Yeah, you're
beatboxing beefy boy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just a fat sack of crap. I'm bald too. If you really want to fucking bring me down,
Wears glasses.
Wow,
Divorce.
Matt's beatboxing so good.
I was reminded by TikTok the other day that great Curb Your Enthusiasm joke where someone asked Larry if they want them to like pray for him, and he's like, no. They're like, why? He's like, because it doesn't work. And they got into an argument about it. He's like, how do you know it doesn't work? And he's like, because I'm bald. So we get the sweet reveal of Sarai's Roboface, and we get to go to her hometown. But first, we have to go through this derelict factory.
That's right. She's got a robo face.
This
Yeah, we got to.
was kind of irritating to me, this whole robot factory business.
I
It
thought
was.
this
I
was
couldn't-
like all leading up to the final encounter, and then I got stepped out of it, and there's a whole world, and I was like, oh gosh, I guess I'm not finishing this game. So, speaking of, I haven't finished this game.
You got pretty close.
Yeah,
That's all
I
right.
got pretty close, but it's the first game
We'll tell
I've
you
come
all
to the
about
last episode and not finished. So
That's not true.
Is it?
You've recorded before with having not finished the game and then finished it after the fact, for sure.
Yeah, and there's some
I
that
think you
you've
have
never
to.
finished, like Final Fantasy VI.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
dude,
not
there's
bring-
never
Final
even
Fantasy
played
VI,
it.
which
let's
you've never
not
even
turn
played.
this into a podcast of lies.
Vanessa, what irritated you about this derelict factory?
What irritated me about this derelict factory is that it's a lot of just like beep boop levers and like go over here and pull this lever and go over there and pull that lever and go back and forth and move things around. And then it didn't really feel like it had any payoff. Like you would assume, as Johnny did, that was leading up to some big boss fight, but then you just kind of leave the factory.
Yeah, and later in the game, you have to backtrack through it again.
That was
It's
very
really dumb.
irritating.
But you have to get through this factory, and the way that you do it is you have to like build the battery to, I guess, like power up the door so you can get out. So you have to go to like each little area of the factory, and each little area has its own material. So there's a kyber ore, a blueprint disc, and a power unit that you have to get by like moving the portal generator around using a crane.
It sort of has this mechanic where there's like a spotlight on the floor, and if you step in it, you alert enemies, which theoretically you could avoid, but I don't know if anyone actually could because they move very quickly. And also, I don't think it's a good idea because you don't fight that many enemies in this game, and I think once you start skipping encounters, it's like you're just handicapping yourself as far as XP.
I spent so long not understanding how this bit worked. Like, I didn't get that you're supposed to press A as soon as the crane powers up. So I was like moving the crane around the level, jamming on buttons for like 20 minutes.
It took me a minute to figure out exactly what I was supposed to be moving, because the thing that you're supposed to be moving around doesn't look like it should be moved.
Yeah, it's like a
the only hint
floor.
is that the light turns green.
Yeah, it took me a minute as well to figure it out, like what I was supposed to be doing with this claw machine.
And this is one of Vanessa's like best skills as a human is claw machines.
It is, and I was very good at it. Thank you for asking. I did.
I mean, it's the easiest. Okay.
I did like that it went into futurism because, as we know, this game is hitting every single kind of RPG cliche, and futurism.
They got to
is a
have
big
their
one of
Phantasy
them.
Star 4. This is the Phantasy Star 4 section.
It's the derelict factory. This is Chrono Trigger.
I'm surprised they didn't have like an Enertron that you got in and it was like, but I'm still hungry.
Yeah, I was 100% sure that was going to come up.
Yeah,
but
me
you're still
too. I'm
hungry.
surprised it didn't.
It would be
So
disrespecting to Garl if you were still hungry.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And technically we do have an inventory full of food, presumably. So we go to Repine, which is the city here, and we learn that this is Sarai's hometown.
And everyone's
and that
super
they-
depressed here.
Yeah, they're all glum cyborgs, is what I put in the notes. Everyone here is a glum cyborg.
They don't like
I
being
feel
a
like
cyborg.
their dialogue is a reference to something, and it's a game like, I don't know what, Chrono Trigger?
In
Like,
what way?
Just
When in doubt, it's probably Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
They just like they're sad. They don't like being a cyborg. They were made
Well, the world
cyborgs.
Which
is
is
dying.
weird.
Yeah.
We would all love to be cyborgs, am I right?
I am a cyborg, and I love it.
Oh yeah, you already are. Yeah. Vanessa sounds like a kazoo every time she walks.
Jim's not a cyborg. He's a highborg. Am I right? Snoochie boochies.
Ew, edit that out, gross.
No.
So Sarai tells us that this is her hometown. She says that their world was attacked by the Fleshmancer and that the dweller on the planet is like feeding on their souls.
Whoa,
Also, the
that's
dweller
fucked up,
sucked
bro.
the moon out of the sky and put it in the ocean.
Yeah, so the moon's in the ocean, and that they were all once humans, and then they were turned into cyborgs by something called the Catalyst.
For what purpose, I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, I don't know either. In the notes, I just put the Catalyst turned them all into machines for some reason.
Yeah. Does anything in this game make sense, to be honest?
Garl.
That's true. We do come face to face with one of our modern horrors that I could relate to, which is Sarai's AI.
Yeah.
And its name is Cedric.
I do like our little drone.
That's
Yeah, Probe.
What's
yeah,
wrong with
when she
what's
pulls
wrong
it out
with
and it's
Cedric?
like boops. Boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop.
Why do you
What'd you
call
say,
it a
Don?
horror? What's wrong with Cedric? Why are you so
Cedric
anti-Cedric?
operates
No,
by
it's like-
scraping other people's work and using it without accreditation or compensation.
Yeah.
Also, if you realized how much water Cedric takes up just to run, you would be fucking horrified too, my friend.
Yeah.
Like, we're already looking at a water shortage in the near future. Let's burn it all on AI, shall we? Now I can make shitty Mario pictures that look like they're from old movies. Wow. I could turn DBZ characters into Disney characters. That's
Also,
worth
their faces are
10 years
horrifying,
worth of
and they
water
have 8
for-
fingers.
Guys, John loves AI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he
true.
does. He loves getting on the phone with AI and like having it talk sexy to him.
He loves that. He loves
Hello
minting
there.
coins. John is minting
am-
coins all the time.
Zangief,
Yeah.
and I am going to crush you with my legs.
John's in another group chat with like Zangief and who are his other favorite
Bowser.
bears?
What was the
Bowser.
one from Super Mario RPG? What was his name?
Boomer?
Mallow?
Buster or Boomer or something?
Boomer?
Buster?
Oh, the big guy at the end.
The guy who kisses Mario.
That's what is his name?
Oh, I'm gonna take
He
you
has a
to
mountain.
someone's tower. It does have a bee.
Tower
Booster.
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 Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, John's in an AI group chat with them, and every time he interacts with it after he wakes up, a small river dries up.
Oh, no.
So we meet the AI Cedric, and he tells us that we need to kill the Dweller of Dread, but in order to reach it, there's this thing called Skybase that we need. This is where it gets kind of confusing for me. We need to use the Speedball network to reach Skybase to defeat the Catalyst in order to be able to defeat the Dweller of Dread. Did I interpret that correctly?
I think
You have to fight the Catalyst so that you can pull the moon out of the ocean, so that you can defeat the Dweller because you need to have moonlight and
We gotta
sunlight.
fight the catalyst so we can get the cloud cover lifted, so we can get the
That's
sun
right.
back, because we have to have the sun and the moon able to touch each
Yeah.
other or like see each other's light.
They
No,
need to
but
be
they have to have
connected, is
light
what it
from
said.
both.
Yeah, to use
they
our
have to have light from
solstice
both.
power.
There has to be an eclipse. There has to be an eclipse. You can only damage dwellers during an eclipse.
That's right.
But they don't put the
No,
the moon
that's what
back
we
in the
learned.
sky.
That's what we learn after the battle, Matt. We'll get to it.
All right. You're the one that asked. I'm just trying to help.
Shut up, Matt.
And Jupiter aligns with Mars.
So in order to get the Speedball network running, they said we have to like find this lost race of people that might be able to turn it back on, and that involves wandering the desert using our probe as like a little sonar for getting through and
like
finding
this.
out where we go. Yeah,
This
this
is
is
It's a
fun.
bit of a Lost Woods style level, though it's a little more simple because the probe will pull up a little map that you can use that tells you which doorway, exit
Yeah.
you need to go through.
yeah.
But
But I
There's
thought using the
there's a little
probe to dig
Pokemon
stuff
hot and
up, sometimes it would be
cold.
enemies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pokemon hot and cold? Did you say
Pokemon hot and cold.
Yeah, Pokemon,
Pokemon
hot and cold.
I bet there
Don't correct
is
me.
in one of those
It's
Pokemon
right.
games. There must be a sort of hot and cold version of something.
Can you believe we've never done a Pokemon game on this
I
show?
keep
This is an
demanding it.
RPG podcast.
All the time. I'm
You've
like,
never
when are we going to play
demanded
Pokemon?
She wants to have a
I don't
group
think
of
you've
all
ever said
Psyducks.
I don't
I'm like,
think it would
Vanessa,
make a
this
good
isn't a good
series.
That's
party.
what you guys always
This
say.
isn't a-
You're always like, Pokemon has no plot. And I'm like, I'm sorry that
I
you
said
don't
it
feel
has a
like
plot.
becoming the greatest trainer and defeating all the gyms in the whole world isn't a plot.
Maybe that's why Jim doesn't like it.
Maybe.
He doesn't
All
want
right,
to
we're
be
officially
defeated.
changing the next game we're playing for the show. We're playing Pokemon Hot and Cold.
Yay!
Yay!
You can choose whether you play
Is
hot
that
or
gonna
cold.
is that Fire and Ice though? Isn't there a Pokemon Fire and Ice?
There should
know.
be a
Do I look
Pokemon
like a
Hot and
nerd?
Cold, like as a twin release. What are they doing? They're always releasing like Crystal Sky and Blue Moon Mountain or something. Hot and Cold. It's
Well, the last
so
ones were
simple.
Sword and Shield.
Yes, Hot and Cold. It's right there. Keep the hot side
I'm
hot
not
and the
disagreeing
cold
with you.
side
I think
cold.
you're right.
I'm writing to Pokemon Incorporated, telling them my good idea.
It's called Game Freak,
Pokemon
Vanessa.
Incorporated.
Yeah.
Game Freak owns Pokemon.
I'm gonna write
Well,
to
they're
Game Freak
developers.
and tell them my good idea,
Oh.
and then I'm gonna post all my fan art of all the heat based and the cold based
there is a po- I
Pokemons
think
I've
she's
come up
right.
with.
I think I corrected Vanessa when Vanessa was correct, because I think there is a Pokemon company. That's what it's called, the Pokemon Company, and Game Freak makes games for them.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Vanessa.
This is my
You were
cold
mostly
Pokemon.
right.
Her name's Alpha. She's a totally original concept.
Ooh.
Alpha!
So, as we eventually get through the desert, also known as the Cerulean Expanse, and we find something called the Lost Ones Hamlet. Mm-hmm. And this is where, at first it looks empty, and we're like, where is everybody? What's this place? I don't know what's going on. And then Rashawn's like, he's casts like a magic spell and breaks a flask, and all these little farts show up.
Fuegoto!
And
Little farts. That's right.
Yeah.
All these little farts show up.
Well, he says, anyone who doesn't want to become visible, look away now. And then he breaks his vial, and I guess they were all there the whole time, but now we can see them. And one of them is really, like, regretful. He's like, why didn't I look away? Now you guys can see me. This sucks. But
I mean, I'd be mad if I looked like a fart and people could see me.
but they
Is that
did-
what your farts look like, Matt?
What
if
do your
you could
farts
see
look
them.
like?
They're invisible.
Oh man, what if this happens
I mean,
to
have
you? What if like
you
Wizard
just joined
came
us here?
and was like,
What do you
"Hey,
think's going on?
look at this vial, and all your farts are going to be visible for the rest of your life."
Oh,
dude.
God, that'd
Yeah,
be bad.
what if,
You're right.
What if every time you farted, it was like a diesel rolling coal on the highway?
Yeah. What if
I'm
every-
surprised
Wait,
every
is it
time I
not
drive
supposed to
my,
be?
my EV in Washington that I don't get rolled cold on.
Well, EVs are great now because Elon Musk makes
Yeah.
them. So.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
All right, I swear to God, we already broke the moratorium. We're not. This is not a thing now. We're not doing it. This is a no politics zone.
Don't you want to hear my hot gaming news about Elon Musk being like totally owned in Fortnite or whatever the hell happened?
Oh, man, that was so fun. But that was Adrian Dittman. That wasn't Elon Musk.
I honestly just did not believe anything that anybody said about that situation.
I
Seemed like a bunch of bullshit.
barely paid attention to it because I actually don't care. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
if I wanted to see
Man,
like
I thought there was so much new Magnus Carlsen news, and you didn't even address it in hot gaming news this week.
Rest in peace, Magnus Carlsen.
Who?
Is he dead?
No, but he quit. He quit a game because he assumed that the guy he was playing with was cheating, and it was a whole thing. Vanessa loves chess
the
news.
chess guy with the butt plugs. All right, so the Derelict Factory. Or no, we're at the Cerulean Expanse. We meet
Yeah.
these farts.
Yeah, we meet a special little pink one named Beast. Mm-hmm. You guys pronouncing it Beast?
No.
I think
Yeah.
it's pronounced Beast.
I think it's
I
pronounced
do
like
think it's pronounced beast.
Beast.
I was initially
Beside?
pronouncing it best, but then he's got a
I thought it was
move
best.
he's got a move that's like it seemed
Altered
like it
Beast?
should be beast.
Yeah, it's called Altered Beast,
Yes,
yeah.
Altered Beast. That's right.
Spell it
And I was
for
like,
us,
oh, it must
though.
be
It's like
Beast.
B''ST, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Farts don't need no vowels.
That's Besit. Besit. Besit.
Farts don't need no vowels.
Well, Matt, fart really is an onomatopoeia, so that makes sense. You're right.
Oh, maybe it's like B Street.
Fart is an onomatopoeia?
No, well, yeah, I assume so. Yeah, fart. That sounds like an onomatopoeia. Got a bit of a and a.
Oh, according to Google's AI, yes, the word fart is likely an onomatopoeia. Just so you guys know, I spelled that word right when I typed it into Google.
Fart?
So,
Good job,
no,
Jim.
onomatopoeia.
Yeah, I thought you were proud of spelling fart right. I was like, that's an easy one. It's an onomatopoeia.
I did tell you guys that I tried to spell cuisine today with a QU like 3 times.
Yes.
And I'm like, why is autocorrect saying it's not right?
So, Beast tells us that Skybase used to be cool, but it got corrupted by that evil AI, and it produces all these clouds that block out the sun. And
Just like
he says
Mother
that
Brain fucked up the weather in Phantasy Star 2. Yeah.
And then he says that the evil machine that took over Skybase, that's the catalyst. And so this is where it got a little fuzzy for me. He says their people built something called the Sacrosanct Spires, I think. Is this what reactivates the Speedball network?
Yes, they were forced to like destroy the world basically, and they did, but then they built like a little failsafe in there. So they're like, we're going to build this Sacrosanct Spire and hide in plain sight the way to reactivate this network that they want to shut down. And the way you reactivate it is like drop a giant battery onto the planet.
Yeah, they said they built this big, like, techno golem that holds this battery just enough to restart it. And
He
this
did
thing
look
has
like
to, like,
a
drop the
Robo
battery.
Viking.
He does look like a Robo Viking.
Who doesn't look like a Robo Viking,
Me.
you know?
Me.
If you think about it.
I don't look like
I don't
a Robo
have like
Viking.
a helmet.
B says that he's the only one who can break, or like, well, he or someone like him are the only ones who can break the seal on the spires. So he's like, you have to take me, but I don't have a body. And then he looks at Rashawn and he's like, do you think you could do the thing? Do the thing that was hinted at earlier in the game?
Yeah, and Rashawn has received a prophecy that says, like, when one of the last species asks to go with you, you have to take them. Which I thought meant we'd be taking one of those little gremlin children, but apparently it's this dude.
I thought we were going to get another party member later in the game, but it turns out we don't.
Kinda do.
We do. We get this guy. We're basically at the end of the game here.
Well, we get this guy. I thought we were going to get the Artificer, too.
I thought Artie...
Kinda.
But he joins our cargo.
Yeah,
like, with
I
Teeks.
thought Artie was going to be like the last member.
So this is where we get our new party. Well, we have to go into this facility first because Rashawn says that's where the materials are that he needs to make Beast a real boy. So we have to go through there and fight the next boss, which is Meduso.
Whoa.
This guy healed himself a lot, and it was very annoying.
Yeah, it's always annoying when they heal. What
But
was this one? What did it look like? I don't remember.
This is the big head that had the hoses coming out of it that were like snakes.
Oh, yeah.
And
But can't
as you beat it up, like the face gets damaged until the face falls off. Johnny referenced this earlier.
You can kill the hoses, but only if you do the combo in time, and sometimes I only had like one move to destroy all the locks.
Yeah.
I guess you can use what's-her-name's move to delay it.
We fight Meduso, and then we get Beast in the party. I love this character design.
It's cool.
It's just that guy
fucking
from
fantastic.
X-Men. Isn't it just that X-Men guy, the Goo or Goop or whatever his name is?
Glorby.
Nope.
Bob Jones.
No, there's...
No, I know who you
there's
mean.
that one-
The one who you can see as skeleton, and he's like a total Johnny boyfriend.
Yeah, but he doesn't. That's Glob Herman, and he does not transform like Beast does. Like Beast is like gooey, morphy
He
stuff.
can change his shape, like when he celebrates, he turns into like a squirt.
And when he's
he
underwater,
crosses
he turns
tight ropes,
into a
he
bottle.
turns into a wheel and rolls
that's pretty
across,
good.
and it's delightful.
When he swims, he turns into a bottle.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my favorite, not character, but like favorite design.
He's very
of a character
Kirby
in the game.
He reminds me a bit of Kirby. I like his ultimate where he turns into a drop on a tree, and then he falls into, creates a lake around the enemy, and then is crocodiles / hungry hippos that eat the bad guy.
It's fantastic. A+ character design.
Yeah, he's a good dude. And he's made of living glass, which I guess it doesn't really matter. He's just a glob guy.
Basically, the way Rashawn explains it is that like he doesn't get hurt or like lose health, but like he loses will, so he has to really fucking believe in himself, even though he still gets healed by eating food. So how's that work? I'm a bicycle. I don't know.
He's our new Garl, basically. He's the new Garl.
Yep. Yep. He's not friendly, but he's not friendly. But he's not like super friendly like Garl, where everybody just loves him. And anytime he's off screen, people are like, "What's Garl doing?"
Boy,
I
wish
do
Garl
like
was
that
here.
even after Garl is dead, they have to go visit Garl.
Yeah. Ooh, brown-eyed Garl.
Garl, 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 Shabam.
Garls on film.
3 months later.
So we get Beast in the party and we leave. It's time to go, and we head to the Sacrosanct Spires. Do we take the... No, we have to go here to unlock the Speedball Network, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that
I'm
a
not-
hypothetical
Okay, well, Jim's gone, and he's the
question?
one that's doing the fucking notes this week. I don't know what you want from me. I'm trying.
I
You guys do more than nod and mock me. Or not. What do I care?
thought it was a hypothetical question.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt.
So we fight the so we go to the Sacrosanct Spires, which is pretty fun. There's all the enemies are different kinds of birds, like owls and
Yeah.
eagles and such.
Yeah.
They do come.
There's several cutscenes to like a group of 3 birdmen that I guess are like the rulers of this place.
Birdinization bird teen. Organization bird teen. That's it.
Yeah, there's Boss Bird, there's like sort
Lazy
of Sad Bird, and there's Crazy Bird.
Yeah, Crazy Bird is like Gun Bird. He's got bombs and guns, and that's his whole deal.
Yeah, one's a healer bird. But you do meet this other bird who's like, yeah, I tried to like challenge them for rulership, but I failed. That's why I'm in this jail. So I can't really do anything because rules prevent it, but I'll be back. Spoiler.
He an owl. He an owl.
He's not back.
Yeah, I like
Maybe
how
he
you're like,
comes back and-
will you fight with us? And he's like, I can't because they defeated me in honorable combat, so I have to leave.
He does. When we first find him, we do try to free him and then get like dumped into a trap room, which
Yeah.
is
Well, that's what the Michelangelo bird keeps doing. He's like, whoa, dudes, I got you in my trap, smoochy booches.
yeah.
And then you got to fight him. Well, you don't fight him. No, you fight some
You have
people to
to-
get out of his trap.
Yeah, you have to play as Sarai for a minute to free the party, which is fun, I guess. Like, you know, I
There's
like
no
Sarai.
combat.
Whatever. And then after doing some matching puzzles for babies, you make your way up to the Triumvirate.
I
of
thought you'd like the
Eminence.
matching puzzles for babies. I was like,
I
Matt
like anything
is
for
going
babies.
to love this. Can you
Yeah, it's like
find the
it's a memory
second cloud?
game. It's really stupid.
And it gives you so
What
many
about the first one where
chances.
they're all
It
right
has,
next
like,
to each other?
You have like 3 chances to do it, and you probably need like 2 at the most. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't taking screenshots and then just looking at my phone to do it.
Cheater!
I'm
Cheater!
smart.
Wow.
I'm smart
So
and I
you
have a
make
good
your
memory.
way up this tower to the Triumvirate of Eminence. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, hey, so you want to control the Triumvirate. And you're like, no, not really. It's not really our thing. We just want to talk to the Eltrist or Estrist. And he's like, that's the worst thing you could have
Yeah,
said.
that's like
so they all
that's the
fight
one
you.
thing you're not allowed to do.
Yeah, isn't there like a big statue holding a ball, and our whole thing is that we want to go up here and knock it down?
Yes, but these
Yes,
birds
it's-
think the statue is their god, and their job is
Yeah.
to guard their god from any intruders. And in return, I guess
to Garl their
they
guard.
garled their guard.
No.
And I guess
This
then they get
being
a myrtle bird life.
a Myrtle bird life.
They're myrtles.
There is a cool thing about this use of batteries as the most ancient method of batteries, because there's a lot of talk now in engineering circles of when there's too much sun and basically you're getting so much solar power that it's not really useful and it's overloading the grid. You could actually use it to raise up a big weight up a hill, and then hold it there as a battery and drop it to charge. And it's basically a super environmentally friendly, not super energy efficient, but very powerful battery that is using simple physics. And I love that idea. I just think it's super cool.
You mean that they've captured the punishment of Sisyphus into technology? A giant boulder
Pretty much.
going up a hill that will never actually reach its destination?
But it can be used as a very powerful, even if it's an inefficient and low tech battery. And I like it. And I like that kind of thinking.
I don't know. I don't know about bringing these punishments of hell to Earth, you know? That's the devil's
what could go
business.
wrong? What could possibly go wrong? So then, after you fight them, there's the one left, and he's like, "Oh man, Rashul, I can't believe." Oh, and also, Beast says something very interesting to Rashul. He's like, "Why do you think you're older than I am?" Which I thought was
I thought that was interesting too.
yeah, and also that bird that you rescue, I thought was going to come back, and doesn't.
He does.
Not here.
Well, you haven't gotten
Yeah.
there yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like it's probably if you played the game another 10 minutes, you'd see him.
Ah, okay. That's
Yeah.
but this game has been known to leave some dangling threads. It's like, oh, he's the
Yeah,
second
for
boss
sure.
in the messenger or something.
Yeah.
But he said, so the bird guy's like, well, yeah, because we did this for you. This is all for you because it's what Arrowful wanted. And then it cut to a beautiful sci-fi horizon with like a moon over some canyons, and Rashul got to be a bird. He flies down and turns back into Rashul, but they're human looking. And April's like, "This is all you've ever. This is what you've always wanted, right?" He's like, "Yes." What did you have to do for this power? He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, sweetie. Nothing bad. I didn't totally destroy a reality for this or anything."
Well, he says he's like, "Oh, I thought the only way to do this was to steal the soul of a halfling or something like that." And he's like, "Well, I guess you don't know shit about being an alchemist because I didn't have to do that." And shut up.
Yep. It was his birthday present, the ability to turn into a bird.
Yeah.
Which he took
And-
from these bird guys in return for sacrificing them and totally fucking up their planet.
I liked the bird fight. I liked the one bird that's power was turn into a bigger, more different kind of bird.
I liked the duck guy, the guy that failed at blowing you up.
Yeah,
earlier.
Daffy. He
Yeah.
was a lot. It was a bit like the Delta sisters because you had to kill the healing one first.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the bomb one does look like Daffy Duck, which is weird.
It was great.
This news that April. This news that April actually was evil for a lot longer than he thought really freaks Rashawn out, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave you with this mute puppet. Goodbye for basically the rest of the game."
Yeah, he's like, I have to go think about this, but here, you can have this. And he,
It's a Rashawn real doll.
he
it's fine.
creates a
Just as good.
replica of himself, but it doesn't talk or anything. It just hangs out. And,
It's a real doll.
yeah, but
Yeah, it's got 3 working holes.
Exactly.
Dale and Valair do not like this. They are just like, this sucks. I hate that
Valerie?
guy. I hate this doll that we live with now. No, this is no good.
Well, I mean, Valerie's concerned what Zale's going to do to that thing when her back is turned, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wink.
Or maybe the other
Nothing
way
because
around.
he's boring.
He is boring. Boring people don't have sex.
Yeah, they don't fuck weird dolls. That would
The one thing I like
be
about
the
it-
first interesting thing he does.
The one thing I like about it is that his pupils disappear on his character model, so he's just this weird dead-eyed monster.
So now we can leave and we can go to Skybase now.
Whoa, we take the Speedball network to Skybase, right?
We do. We take the speedball to Skybase.
Y'all like that Speedball network?
No.
I do
Explain
like
it.
it.
Describe it.
I feel like every time you write it, it should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did I miss a number? I think I missed a number. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you probably
embarrassing.
did. Jimmy, paint me a word picture.
The ball, what's it called? Speedball? The Speedball Network. Have you guys ever seen Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Yes,
Is that the
unfortunately.
second movie?
That is the second movie.
I have never been able to sit through more than about 20 minutes of that thing. It's so fucking bad.
In that movie, they're like, we need to go to Outworld. And so Raiden's like, we can go through these underground ball things. And so he summons like this orb that moves them through the hollow earth and into Outworld. And it looks like the worst CGI you've ever seen in your life. It reminded me of that network of things.
I didn't think it was
I should
necessary.
watch that movie.
Like, I would have been
You shouldn't.
just as happy with like teleportation pads and not watching an animation.
I
of a
thought it was
ball
cool.
rolling around.
What's
thought it was
wrong with
cool,
cool
too.
balls?
Well, Vanessa famously hates balls.
Hate them.
Oh, right.
That's the title of Johnny's memoir. What's wrong with cool balls?
That's why she only likes men with like big floppy hair, because if your hair's too thin,
I'll be able to see
your head
those
looks
balls.
like a ball, and I hate those.
I thought you were implying that their pubes would also be floppy, and then I wouldn't have to see them.
What?
No,
What?
but I like where your head's at. Let's keep going with this.
Okay. I didn't really have very.
I changed my
much-
mind. Let's not.
Yeah, I don't have very much to say about it.
We go to the sky base. It's in the
Yeah,
sky.
it's just another dumb dungeon. You know what you have to do? You have to go into the room and you have to flip the switch.
Yep.
Like you do in every other dungeon. in
But
this
you
game.
can see like the earth below you, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Like it looks
fun.
I
good.
thought it looked
That's
great. It was very
fun.
very Fantasy Star. I was happy.
Yeah.
The music wasn't as good as the last Techno Dungeon music, but it was still all right.
Yeah, and we fight the AI core or the catalyst, and this boss fight was super annoying. I didn't like it.
Well,
Why?
you just have to destroy the restorer screens because those will heal the ball.
Oh, is this the Contra boss?
Yeah.
This is the Contra boss.
Yeah,
You gotta go
this
through
is
the
the Contra
Contra
boss.
walls first. Yeah, I like this
Get a
boss fight.
fucking original idea, developer. Like, this shit's getting old. Holy shit. Listen, I didn't like hate this boss fight or anything, but like the minute I realized it was just Contra, I was like, fuck you. Like, this is the Family Guy of video games.
Wow.
Ooh, remember this game? You like Sea of Stars? Remember Phantasy Star 4?
Hey, Garl, remember Fantasy Star 4?
Is that supposed to be Peter Griffin?
Loris. I'm very good at voices.
I was trying to do a Peter Griffin laugh, but I did a SpongeBob
Lois.
laugh. Actually, you know what?
Did you just do a Fran Drescher?
I've been
Yeah, I thought
flipping
that
on
was
some
Fran
Family
Drescher.
Guy late night recently, and not every episode of that show is great, but every once in a while you get one that's actually pretty fucking funny.
I don't like what's his name with his, face and his.
Yeah, I don't like him
deal.
either.
Yeah,
No.
I do. I will go on the record as saying American Dad is actually super funny.
No, thank you.
I think that one takes a couple of seasons to get going with it, and it is funny. Now, I have not watched a lot of the newer seasons, but I've heard that it gets bad.
Oh,
And then
no.
it starts relying heavily on, like, gore as the joke.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I haven't seen an episode of that in years, but the
Yeah.
episodes I did watch a few years ago, I really liked.
Yeah.
Like, there's a Christmas episode where the rapture actually
Yeah, I remember
happens,
that.
and it fast forwards like 20 years, and Stan has like a hook hand,
Yeah.
and he's trying to kill the Antichrist. It's really funny.
Is that Orville show still on?
No,
think
it canceled
did it
after
get canceled?
season 3. I dropped off that show in the first season. I was kind of into it, and then that Rob Lowe episode happened, and it really, in the first season, it really blew the whole thing for me. I don't know if you remember the setup of that, but it was, what's his face was like the captain, or he was assigned to the ship, maybe, and his ex-wife was the captain, or she was assigned to the ship, and he was the captain, she was his first mate. And he was mad at her because she had cheated on him. And then towards the end of the season, Rob Lowe shows up as an alien, and it's the dude that she cheated with. And it turns out that he releases pheromones that makes women go wild and want to fuck him. And the guy was still like, "Fuck you, you cheated on me," and not like,
Ew.
"Oh, you were raped.
Gross.
You got raped."
Yeah.
Content warning.
Ew.
Apologies. That really turned me off that show. I never fucking watched it again.
What's
the
the name of
kids
that
refer to
dweeb?
it as graped now.
Huh?
Wow. What's the name
The
of the
kids
guy?
say graped now.
I
Seth
don't give a fuck
MacFarlane.
what the kids say. I'm in my 40s, Jim.
Seth MacFarlane. Don't like him. Don't like his face. And
I don't like him either.
his face is in the Orville a lot. So no, thank you.
Yeah,
He
but I
like
do.
sticks out in everything that he's in. Like as an actor, he just sticks out like a sore thumb.
No,
with
I
his
agree.
weird,
He's not a
stupid
good
face.
actor. Like, he's not a good actor. He's a good voice actor. But I have found, like, particularly after we record these fucking shows, like late 10, 11 o'clock at night, I've had a few beers. Family Guy's the perfect thing to turn on and half pay attention to while I read a book.
I can see that.
Animal
You know,
controls
you look
that
up-
for me.
That's what I
there's a
do with
good joke.
MST3K.
Yeah. All right, anyway.
Yeah, so we fight the catalyst and we beat it. This part was kind of funny until I realized it was going to make me go to a bunch of different places. But at first I thought it was funny because they're like, we need to figure out how to use this console. And they start like beep booping on it. And they're like, we don't know how to use it. Let's ask Probe. And Probe is like, too advanced, recommendation, find people who are smarter.
Yeah, find smarter people than you. And they're like, well, the smartest people we know are those little gremlin kids who live in that hut. I guess they live in
Yeah, we need to
Clockwork
go-
Castle.
What? It's a
We
I
need to
hate this.
harass
We
those
basically
little old
redo
adult
the
kids.
fucking Beast plot line, but with
Yeah,
the
pretty
Gremlin
much.
kids. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So we got to go all the way back to Clockwork Castle, which means we have to get in the boat and basically go back through the whirlpool and then go across the ocean to the island. And then we have to drive through the big head guy to get into the island and go to the Clockwork Castle and then go up the Clockwork Castle to where the little old kid adults are.
I forgot that you opened a path that led you straight
Yeah,
to
you
the
opened a
Clockwork
path.
Castle, so I went through the whole fucking
Oh,
forest
no.
as
Oh,
well.
no.
I was not happy about it.
Wow.
And then I
That's a
got
bummer.
out of the forest to the Clockwork Castle and was like, what's this little entrance on the side? And it spat me back out on the beach, and I was like, fuck!
So you talk to Kyle and say like, oh, he's like, oh, so that's what all these condensers are for. They've been building cloud making machines for years now. And he's like, well, I guess we're gonna do something. And then they're like, well, we're gonna go visit a friend. That's what Zales and Valere says. So they go off to do that. And then the kids all get together and are like, this is a super good idea. We're gonna be a hero, but not a playable one.
So they, I guess, should we discuss who Valere and Zale go to visit?
I mean, who else is it gonna
They-
be?
Yeah, they go see. I had Beast in my party too, and it was funny seeing Beast's weird, gloopy fart body standing over Garl's grave. That tickled me.
Well, and then
man.
they go visit Garl, and then they go to Mirth and like hang out with the headmaster. And the headmaster's like, "Wow, Beast, you're super cool. This is living glass."
Everyone thought living glass was impossible, but he did it. He's the greatest alchemist. And your alchemist doll
This
just
whole
sits
fucking
there.
game is just. This whole fucking game is just Garls. You know what I mean? Can somebody tell
That's
these
a good
developers
one.
that big
That's a
girls
good
don't
one.
cry? Did we already do that? We probably did.
Wish they all could be Californian Garls.
Now that he's dead, is he an uptown girl?
He's been living in this white bread world.
I wish that
Is
I
he a
had
rich Garl?
Sally's
He's never going to be a
girl.
surfer girl again. That's for sure.
I wish that I had Sales girl. Where can
Never
I
gonna be
find
Jesse's
a
girl.
girl like that. I never listened to Jesse's Girl 2, but I really want to believe that it just goes, I wish that I had Jesse's Girl 2.
Anyway, yeah, Jim, tell us what happens here with this.
Where can
fucking
I
stupid
find
bullshit.
another woman like that again?
So Kale and his little old friends make another like AI core housing, but it has a little machine on the end of it that when they get into it merges their bodies into one big goop that they feed into a robot, and it also combines their consciousnesses.
They say it's going to combine their consciousnesses.
Try that again, but better.
So, hey, don't make fun of Jim.
Consciousnesses.
He did it. They say it's going to combine their consciousnesses, but it doesn't. Like,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
they're all still distinct, like, people inside the robot.
when they come out, they're like talking to themselves, like as a group of different people. And then they're like, "Oh, I guess we
They're
should
like a
elect
monstro
one
kale
They
person."
should be
kids.
like They should be like the Geth now.
Yeah.
Where like
that's
there
what
is no
I thought they were
going
gonna
to
call themselves
Geth.
Legion. I thought they were going to call themselves Legion for sure.
So this guy doesn't, he's a cool looking like brass robot, but he does not join the party as like a playable character that you can fight with in combat, but he does join the party as cargo.
His metal butt creeps me out.
What else would his butt be made of?
I don't know, but you see it and it looks like a little hatch that opens, and I guess poo comes out? I don't know. I
That's
don't
what
like
the
it.
butt
They call
is.
that's his excrement port.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, bite my
e-waste
shiny
port.
metal ass. Right, guys? References. That's what this game is all about.
You know what he should
References.
have? It would have been really funny if he stepped out of the machine. He's like, I am Gato. Like the robot from Chrono Trigger that you
He
fight at the
does
beginning.
look like Gato.
He's kind of Gato-esque, yeah.
It's me,
Yeah.
Robo.
It's me, Robo. Oh, what if it was Robo? Secret Chrono Trigger tie-in.
Oh, that would be amazing. What if this was Chrono Trigger 3
Yes.
all along?
What if they got
Oh.
sued? That would be great.
So we
I
take
wonder if
this.
there'll ever be a real Chrono Trigger 3.
I don't think so.
No, I don't. I don't think they want to touch that. I think that's the golden goose. I also think that they really fucked up with Chrono Trigger 2, and so now they're scared. Chrono Cross. Which, hey, I fucking love that game. Fantastic
great.
game.
Good
But
game.
you don't know. You never finished it.
What?
Maybe I will.
I guess Chrono Cross
Oh, he's
is
talking to me.
Chrono Trigger 3 because Chrono Trigger 2 was
Oh,
that
yeah.
text-based
Radical
adventure.
Dreamers.
You know.
Yeah, that's true. We did play that. Kids Adventure.
That was a bonus episode, and I did not play it.
It was a bonus.
So
I played it.
we take this robot back to the Sky Station, and
Yeah, and he hacks a little console, and he fixes it, and he's like, okay, you can go now.
now you can go.
I like how Jim wrote, not an controllable party member, lame. Not lame. I don't need this. I don't need another beast. It's the same thing.
What if it had a cool? What if it had a cool punch like Robo and Chrono Trigger, where it detached from his like a rocket fist?
Yeah,
that would
Beast
have
has
been
a cool punch. His arm turns into a fucking hammer, and he smacks motherfuckers.
What if the robot's
That's
attack
true.
was that its little butt hatch opened and all those kids poured out of there and just like swarmed and punched robots?
What if it what if the butt port opened and he was like shooting out their fingers?
Oh, they could have referenced. They could have referenced the Persona All Out attacks with the kids.
Oh
it's true.
yeah.
You have to think in terms of what they want to reference. You know.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, well, I'm going to make sure that the first rays of light shine here. So it shines on a point right next to the moon, which is in the water, and then creates a little whirlpool.
Yeah. And I really appreciated the efficiency of this next part because, all right, we're going to go to something called the Infinite Abyss,
It's
which
gonna
is
take
where
forever.
the moon is.
Pull the moon out of the water. I thought they
No.
did.
No,
Not yet.
they don't do that till at the end. So we go there. Yeah, and I thought this was going to be another really long dungeon, like maybe another dark one where we had to light the way, like a couple of them have been. And it wasn't. It's just a straight up boss fight where we fight the Dweller of Dread, which looks like a Cthulhu,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
cool.
cool because the moon is down there and you're like fighting it in front of the moon. But there's no eclipse, so how are we going to defeat this dweller? We just do.
We use our We just do, and then at the end they're like, I can't believe we beat a dweller without any solstice magic. Guess we can fly now.
Guess we
Yeah,
And then they fly
fly.
around.
And also, we don't need an eclipse anymore. Cool.
I did so much damage just with like the sun ball and stuff. Just regular
Oh, yeah.
sun magic moves were just wrecking this thing. Just wrecking it.
Yeah.
So I guess
Racking
that
it.
they've just become so powerful that they don't even need the eclipse anymore. Like their magic is enough.
They're turning
They're
into
And that is
gods.
because
now.
they've taken on these aspects of these elemental solstice
They're
Yeah.
lunar.
Solon and
Yeah,
Luana.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And also, they did fly before, and so they're like, hey, I remember how to fly. And they're like, oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And then they start flying circles around the moon, and it flies back into the sky with our
Oh,
magic
okay.
solstice powers.
Yep.
Now we can do we can either just go straight to the Fleshmancer's lair and end the game, which is what Matt did. I'm
Yes.
assuming.
And that's what I
Yep.
did too.
Or you could do like Vanessa and I and do some side stuffs because we wanted to see the true ending of the
We
game.
can do hours
Just to be
and
clear,
hours of
so you
side
can
stuff.
fly at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when
It's-
you
it's
fly,
actually-
you turn into little golden blue balls and zip
Yeah.
around the maps. And you know what? Awesome.
Pretty
Fucking
cool. Yeah.
Took a little too long. Wish we would have gotten this earlier. Instead, I liked
Yeah,
the
me too.
Speedball Network, but if you're gonna make me go back to the other fucking planet, you better. Anyway, but I liked this. I liked the flying around.
So I guess
Yeah, it's fun.
we can do like a quick and dirty highlights of the extra content if you want, Jim.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you have to do like 6 different special missions in order to unlock the true ending, which you can't actually do until you've gotten the regular ending.
Yeah, you have to beat the game once first.
You can set it up now. One thing you have to do is get all of those stupid rainbow conches, which since you were using cheats, Jim, did you just like have enough and that was fine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
800.
you only need to like you can only have enough by collecting all of them, but I gave myself like 800 rainbow conches, and so I learned that you only need enough to fully upgrade Mirth.
Yeah, I collected all of them, every single one. You also there's like 3 puzzle dungeons to go through, which I thought was kind of fun. I liked doing the puzzles.
Yeah, there are like hidden Dakarian little puzzle arenas hidden around that you have to unlock using your like changing of the time of day powers to light runes in the ocean. And those unlock and you have to go do those. One of those is really annoying because you have to like move these laser pillars around and make 3 different patterns with them.
Yeah, I didn't even know what I was supposed
I had to look up
be
a guide.
doing.
Yeah, it was and like some of the solutions took like 20 moves. Like 20 different moves of a pillar, and it was
Yeah, I
annoying.
didn't use a guide, but I think I just sort of happened across the first solution and then noticed the wall had lit up in the same pattern, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do.
This would have taken me, I feel like, 2 weeks to do if I didn't have a guide. I'm terrible at stuff like this. And so you have to do those. You have to do all the solstice shrines.
You have to
You
lay
have
to rest the spirit of Fancy Pants Falderal.
Duke Aventry. I don't know if you guys remember before we fought the Necromancer and when we went through her swamp. She has like that Duke Aventry guy that's hanging out in the cemetery that you have to fight. You can go lay his soul to rest by fighting the Necromancer again and doing a couple other fetch quests.
You have to go to his like old mansion and get the special locket that binds him to the earth.
Yeah. And you have to find his. Did you find his journal or something?
Yeah, find his journal and all this stuff.
And then you have to go fight the Necromancer
which was
again.
annoying. You have to get Beast to be the champion of the arena.
That was my favorite one.
Me too. I thought I was going to hate it, but the arena turned out to be amazing because
It's really short.
It's pretty easy and fun. It's emceed by a tiger man who is the only like tiger man we see in this world.
And like the enemies are amazing. Like the like the championship battles for each level. I think there's 3 levels, 3 or 4 levels. But each highest tier fight is something just completely weird.
Yeah, my favorite one was
Like-
the one that's just like a guy in a Speedo who makes like a lot of
Yeah.
flexing noises, and he's not even that strong.
And like fires a
he
cannon
fires a
at
cannon
you.
at you, and then when he attacks you, he's like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of them is this giant psychopath clock.
Yeah. And then one of them
And
is
then
a crab.
the last one is a giant pirate
Yeah.
crab. Which, like, when we say giant, it's as big as a dweller. Like, it takes up most of the screen.
Yeah,
It's
but then when you
huge.
beat it, it just shrinks down to a little crab, and it shows you a message that says, like, the crab has decided to go live with you on your ship. Everyone's really happy. When you go to your ship, it's just like, it's on the deck, like, walking back and forth, like,
Yeah. It's a pretty good time. And then the last one, this one I thought had the hardest boss that I fought in the game. You have to fight the queen that was in Sarai's world, which was, I guess, the leader of their people who sold them out to the Fleshmancer.
But she is a robot.
She's like a robot that can turn into a gun.
Yeah, her
and
thing is like
shoot
she
you.
has guns and
Well,
also can
Megatron.
become a gun. Like,
Yeah. And like you can destroy, like her charge attack is becoming a gun, but you can, before she transforms, like kill her bullets.
Yeah.
So when she does turn into a gun, she has nothing to shoot you with. But
So
like that,
what
that
you're
gun
saying
hits
is
super hard.
she's shooting blanks.
Yeah. And she's really powerful and has a lot of HP. Like she KO'd like at least 2 members of my party a couple times. I was scraping by in that one.
but I will say that one thing you get for doing all of these is like the ultimate weapons for everyone. So
Yeah, you get everybody's best
Yeah.
weapon.
in the final,
You get that for doing the solstice shrines, right? Or at least the main ones, Zale and
you
Valerie.
get Zale and Valerie from the
Yeah.
Solstice Shrines, but then you get like Sarai's ultimate weapon from the Queen that was, and beasts from
Beast from the Coliseum.
I had done the solstice shrines at least because I'd already done like half of them, so I was like, why would I not run around and do these real quick?
Yeah, they're fun little. Those are probably my favorite, just because they're just like quick little puzzles.
But then once the game was like, you better collect those rainbow conches, I was like, time to finish the game.
And speaking of finishing the game, let's do that.
Yeah, let's go to the Fleshmancer's lair. This place is really gross.
It's really gross. I was so surprised, but I kind of loved it. It's like all just
Yeah.
made of flesh, and it has like eyeballs that you have to roll around to unlock doors,
Yeah.
and they make squishy, squelchy noises. I felt like I was watching Baby Girl.
And to my surprise, there's a mini boss in this dungeon. We haven't gotten a lot of mini bosses, but we do get a mini boss in LeJug, who I guess is like he's like the leather face of this.
Yeah.
It's like a
Texas
Frankenstein.
Massacre level.
My problem with this, though, is like it was never introduced. Like the idea of this guy existing was never introduced to us,
Yeah.
and suddenly he's like, "I'm the jug, and I love cutting people up and shit." I'm like, all right, but who are you? Like, why? Where did you come from?
It's good design.
Yeah, it's fun.
Plus, you fight him, and then he has a second transformation where he turns into like a big, cool fucking monster.
Yeah, that wasn't even the
Yeah.
jug's final form.
I wonder if there's like LeJug lore.
Probably.
Probably.
I appreciated the fact that this final dungeon, I expected it to be a big old fucking hall, and it is only about a half an hour. It is not a long dungeon.
Yeah, it's pretty
It has
short.
some interesting stuff. It has some mind games.
Still one of the longer dungeons in the game, but they're all pretty
Yeah.
short, which I do like. I don't love big fucking 2-3 hour dungeons.
Yeah, speaking of mind stuff, after we fight LeJug, we start moving through rooms that they start out like really familiar. I think the first like hint, the first inkling that you get that something's getting weird is that you run into like a mole guy.
Yeah.
No, you get like knocked out or
No,
something.
you go to sleep. Because LeJug told us. LeJug was like, you may have, like, defeated me, but you'll never survive the halls of madness. And then
Yes.
you walk into, like, a
Yep.
field, and there's a fire going, and everyone's like, it's time for a nap. Let's all take a nice nap.
Oh,
And
this
there's
was
nothing you
the
can do
soul
but
curator,
take
right?
a
Yeah.
nap. Yes.
So you take a nap,
Yeah.
and then you're just, like, tripping.
Yeah, you meet a mole guy. You go through. I think
each
it's like
time
that
you-
pirate bar,
Each time
right?
you're in one of these areas, yeah, you go to the pirate bar, you go to Mole Town, but each time there are like quick flashes where you can see that that's not what's really going on. Like you're in the pirate bar,
Yeah.
and there'll be a quick flash, and instead of patrons at tables, it'll be monsters at tables eating
like flesh.
One thing that I
viscera.
thought was one thing that I thought was really creepy was seeing all of these NPCs that you've encountered before just like order gore to eat. It's really gross.
Yeah, and you serve them gore. You have to do, like, fishing, and then you see a flash where it's like you've actually fished,
yeah.
like, a skull up out of the water, and
Jeez.
Pretty gnarly.
eventually you start to, like, notice these crystals that you can shatter to break the illusions.
Yeah. And you find that soul curator guy again, and he's like, I'm gonna summon my strongest minion to fight you, and then you have to fight the next boss, which is the Phase Reaper.
This is another cool boss design.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Grim Reaper style robot that
like robot ninja.
teleports around with a laser scythe.
Pretty cool, pretty easy boss.
Mm-hmm.
And then the soul curator guy's like, well, we have a faster guy now. I think he's hinting that he was about to summon Brugaves because the Fleshmancer said that Brugaves was going to be the fastest
that's right,
ever.
yeah.
So I think he was about to summon Brugaves, and then Sarai opens a portal and ends up right behind him and then stabs him in the
Yeah,
back
she's
and
just
kills
like,
him.
nah, I'm over this.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is one of what I thought was one of the most bizarre parts of the game. She kills this dude, and then she's like smiling, and she's like, "I'm smiling for the first time, and I can't remember how long." And Valerie and Zale are like, "That's so great, Sarai.
Yeah.
You just fucking killed a dude."
Also, how
Yeah.
can she smile? She doesn't have any lips. She just has a robot mouth.
No, a robot face smiles. She just fucking murdered a dude. Like, listen, I'm not saying that she was wrong to kill him, but it's real weird that they're all like, "Congrats on overcoming your trauma by murdering this dude."
But they also say that this guy is responsible for, I believe what they say is creating and sending monsters across the universe.
Yeah, he's not a good dude. He's the one who made the cyborgs. The world is better off without him. But there's a problem.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's a real weird scene.
So there's a problem, though. We have this big gate in front of us, and we try to break it, but we can't. And then Zale's like, or I guess the robot comes out, the drone AI.
Yeah, the little probe comes
and he's
out,
like-
and he's like, "This thing is built of it's built of techno and organic matter in like an infinitely complicated way. Also, if you damage it too much, it's booby trapped to explode.
Yeah, it will destroy
and
the whole world.
only a super precise series of cuts will disable it." But Zale can't do it because it will blow up if it's exposed to solstice
right,
magic.
and so I thought that Sarai was going to do it because she's a ninja and
Yeah.
has
Me too.
like,
Yeah, and can
swords
teleport.
and can teleport. But no, of course, who should come to do this cutting but Johnny? I want you to hear this. It's that bird.
Yay!
Mr. Owl.
His name is Verloc.
It's Verlot, the
Oh.
bird we freed before,
Verlo.
who we barely know.
I pronounced it Verlo, yeah.
I love that it's this like bird guy who we barely know. We've had one encounter with, and he just shows up and
Yeah.
he's like, "It's me, Verlo. I'm here to save the day."
We're supposed to go, yay,
Yeah.
it's Verlo.
Oh my god, it's Verlo! It's like watching a Marvel movie and there's a cameo of someone who you don't know who they are. Like,
Also, he doesn't even cut it very
Holy shit,
fast.
Star Fox!
exactly.
Verlo comes out and does a series of precise cuts and destroys the gate. and then he leaves. Which, like, he gets a little epilogue in the ending of the game, and I was like, I don't. Yeah, he does, and I was like, I don't know that we needed that. I don't know that I cared.
Real weird.
Maybe he was
But,
supposed to be
Yet
a
another
party
Poochie
member.
character that they introduce at the end of the fucking game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe he was supposed to be a party member, and they ran out of time or something.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked that. I think
I would have
bird.
liked that too. That would have been cool.
It would have been like
it
a
would have been
toad.
cool to have a. But is that really close to Frog's character?
Yeah, Frog,
in Chrono
sorry,
Trigger?
Frog.
It is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
Okay. Is having any sort of animal person a ripoff of Chrono Trigger?
He's not just an animal person. He's like an animal person knight
noble
that's
knight.
driven by like a
Fancy
sense of
fencer.
loyalty. Yeah. It's like a medieval animal person.
I certainly don't know that we know enough about his motivations to say that, but
Yeah, he probably just wants a cracker or something. He's just a dumb bird.
He wants to catch a mouse and eat it.
wants to turn his head all the way around in 360 degrees and eat a mouse. Yeah.
They can't do that. It's like 270 each way.
So now we can go finally confront the Flesh Mancer.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Final
Can't
boss
wait
time.
to fight the Fleshmancer.
Yeah, time to fight the Fleshmancer.
Flesh
Finally do this.
for
Oh wait,
fantasy.
the Fleshmancer is like, just kidding. I'm gonna leave now, and then you have to fight. What was her name originally? Not Brugaves, but
Marley.
Alyssa. Alyssa.
Mafufu.
You get to
Mifune?
fight the girl version of Zale who was with Brugaves, and she's turned into like a witch now, and her name is Ellison Durrell. And that's the final boss of the game.
Yep, we did it. We fight Ellison
I was
Durrell.
expecting her to be like the second to last boss, sort of like how not Cloud.
John.
What's
John.
Titus's dad? Was the
Jack.
second one?
Jekt.
Yeah.
They're gonna reveal that she's the second to last boss in the game if you play the true ending.
Oh.
Actually, you don't even fight her if you're going. Well, you fight her
really?
to beat the game the first time, but when you redo it to get the true ending, you don't fight her.
But we'll get to that.
Oh.
So we fight her and we kill
we'll get to
her,
that.
and I don't feel bad about it at all. At all. Because
all.
fuck this broad. She really is the shittiest person in the game.
She does. She turns into another giant head monster that you
Yeah,
have to
because
fight.
she's like, I need more power.
Yeah. I mean, she is the one that like it's. I don't know. We talked about it way back in the second episode when they betray us. Like that was real fucked up.
It was.
We don't want to do this, so fucking let's destroy this planet. Wild
This reality,
stuff.
yeah.
Wild stuff.
Wild stuff.
So you defeat
Yep.
her, and then the Fleshmancer's like, yeah, I'll be true to my word, and I'm just leaving and going to another world. And,
Rashawn goes with him,
yeah.
I think.
And then Zale and Valere are finally fully manifested gods. And
And then they're like, well, Sarai's like, thanks for saving the worlds, and they're like, you're welcome. Oh wait, we feel a world eater somewhere. And then they fly into space, and the game turns into a shmup for a minute, where you have to fight a world eater and blast them with magic powers
Like while the credits are going on.
while the credits are rolling. Yeah.
Ooh. I like
It does.
that.
Valerie's like, our watch has just begun, and they fly to space. And then we get a bunch of cutscenes over the credits of a bunch of people that we've met, and finally it ends on Garl's grave, and Moraine is there with like some kids
And Teeks.
And Teeks. Oh, it's
Yeah.
Teeks, not Moraine. And Teeks is old now, and they're like, is it true that the solstice gods fly by every year on Garl's birthday? And she's like, yeah, bro, because they're sad about it. And you know what?
It's a good ending.
I liked this ending. It was touching. Their friend had died. They had moved on to to their true destinies of like fighting forever to protect mankind or whatever. And I did really fucking like the fact that Garl was dead, and we just had to life went on.
Record
I thought it was.
Or is he?
Yeah, no, he is. He's dead. I watched the ending. I watched the cutscenes. He's dead.
Wait, are you
his
saying
grave
they
is still there.
rebirthed this, Vanessa?
If you watch,
Vanessa, let me say something to you that I think you really need to understand. There ain't no hollaback Garl.
so if you watch the full credits, at the very, very end, you see these 6 pillars appear in, I guess, I forget what it's called, the Moorlands, something like that.
Yeah, on Mesa Island,
and it's
I
like,
believe.
oh, but maybe the story's not over after all.
Uh-huh.
And these 6 pillars will light up as you do each of these, like, extra bit side quests. And the game is like, now you can finish whatever extra bit side quests you didn't do. Fun!
It tells you that you can go back to, like, restart the final boss anytime you want. You can go back to the save right before it. And so you can go and do all the extra shit that you missed, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a new Game Plus style thing. That's cool if you want to do that, which I don't. I got my good touching ending with Dead Garl, and I liked it.
So suppose you do all of this stuff, and then you go and...
What kind of dork would do that?
There is a mystic portal that opens after you trigger all of these things. And
Yeah. Oh, really quick. I want to say one thing that I found very amusing doing these side quests. I believe it's the Dakaria Ruins one has a boss fight at the end of it, and it's a reskin of that giant slug that was like the first boss of the game, and the trophy for beating it is called "It's a Reskin."
I actually found that second giant slug harder than the queen that was. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
It just felt like a slog.
Interesting.
So suppose you trigger this portal. What happens then is Beast is like, aha, when I was being made, Rashawn told me that when the time came, only 3 people could go through the portal, and I had to be one of them, and Valer and Zale had to come too. So we're going to go through this portal and see what Rashawn's special gift to you is. So we go through the portal, and we emerge in the original encounter with the Fleshmancer when time is paused. So we see the Fleshmancer and Rashawn having their conversation, and the, like, blast of light is heading towards Garl, and he's going to get hit and die. And Beast is like, okay, we only have a little bit of time, but here's what's going to happen. I am going to shapeshift into Garl and take his place.
Yeah.
Because I am made of glass and have the willpower to survive getting hit by this ray.
Yeah, because of Beast's iron resolve, he is able to take Garl's place. And so you do that, you make the swap and you pull Garl out, and everyone's really happy that Garl's still alive. You get a touching scene. One thing that I found fucking hilarious was the next thing that you have to do is go to Garl's grave and exhume his body because it's still Beast that they buried in the ground.
Beast up from the grave. And when you do, Beast is like, I didn't know it was going to take that long.
He's like, that took a long time.
Yeah. I sure was in the ground for a long time. Oh, well. So I guess that means that all the stuff we did with Garl after Garl got hit by the beam of light, it was Beast, really Beast.
It was Beast
along.
that baked that bread and woke the sleeper and named it Sinclair or Wentworth.
That's weird and dumb. And really undercuts all of that, which is probably the best part of the game.
So after that, you can talk to
Story-wise.
Garl, and Garl's like, man, I'm so happy to be alive again. I have a special request. I need you to take me on a series of side quests so I can go and live my dream, which is to have dinner at the Golden Pelican with all my friends. I think, Jim, you didn't even do this part.
That restaurant.
I didn't do this. I didn't do this part.
So you have to go and on the map, there's this, like, fishing pond that seems like nothing's there. You go there with a special golden hook, and you fish up a entrance to a cave. And then you go through the cave, and you come across the, like, biggest fish shadow you're ever going to see in your whole life. You have to fish up that fish, and then the fish emerges. It starts smoking a bubble pipe, and it's like, what the hell do you want? And they're like, oh my god, sorry fish, we just felt like we had to, like, fish you up because we heard that you can get us into the Golden Pelican. And he's like, of course I can, I'm the head chef. And so the fish gives you an invitation to come eat at the Golden Pelican, where he will prepare a delicious meal for you and all your friends. And he's like, okay, so who's gonna come? And Garl invites your party, the pirates, the headmaster, and Teeks, and that mole. And
Oh, the mole wizard.
And you,
Malcolm.
You get a makeover scene where everybody has to put on formal wear to go to this dinner. Zale gets dressed up kind of like a cowboy. He has, like, a bandana. Garl gets a little suit.
He
with
looks
a
very
cravat.
fancy.
Yeah, they all look very fancy.
Who's the one that's sitting in the Game of Thrones chair next to Valere?
That
With a vest and
is
everything.
Sarai. And it's like her
is?
her crown. She has a little metal crown on.
Oh, okay.
She's the queen
Keenathan
now.
is there. All your
Oh,
friends
boy.
are there. They all make a whole bunch of toasts about how great life is, and then they're like, "Okay, well, let's go beat the Fleshmancer." So
It
you go
does seem
back.
like the last. It does seem like the Last Supper, and Garl
It's very
is
Last
Jesus.
Supper-y, yeah.
It's very Last Suppery. Oh, and also
Garl is
Rashawn's
Jesus.
puppet is there, just like sitting on the floor.
Right.
Yeah, and it looks like the guy who's running the inn in that cursed town where people get like brainwashed into feeding
Well, he's
themselves
one
to
of
the
the many
dweller is there
Mater D
too.
brothers.
Yeah,
Like,
so
there's a lot of those Mater
Oh
Ds.
yeah, that's
presumably
right.
that's like the third brother.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So once that's done, you go back to the Fleshmancer's tower, and you stroll on in, and the Fleshmancer starts pulling his thing of like, I'm a god, I'm not gonna fight you, I'm gonna summon this other thing. And Garl says, God, you're nothing but a creep, and you're a total loser, and you suck. And
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's true.
And basically, Garl nags the Fleshmancer into fighting you himself.
Yeah, he's also a little steamed that you're alive after he thought that he killed
Yep.
you.
So in this rage, he agrees to fight you. You battle him. It's a really long, tedious boss fight. He turns into like a big floating snake thing, and so occasionally in the boss fight you have to go into that, like, what did you call it, Jem? A shooty mode? A space...
Oh, the
A
shmup.
shmup.
Yeah, the shmup. Yeah.
The shoot 'em up.
It has
Yeah.
a shmup phase, and it has several phases of, like, summoning...
Yeah, it's he like a few times he summons these big tentacles that can really only be damaged by a certain character's attack type. So you have to rotate a lot of characters in and out in order to take these tentacles out, and it just takes a long time.
But eventually you defeat him, and he's like, "Oh my god, how is this possible? I don't even believe this."
The first part of the ending cutscene here, because it becomes animation again, and the opening of this thing, it shows the Fleshmancer on the ground, and you see Garl just go thunk and smash him in the face with his pot lid, and the animation of it and the sound effect is so perfect, and it shows the Fleshmancer just fly backwards. It's great. I found it on YouTube yesterday and watched it again, and I bet I rewound it over that like 5 times. It's so funny.
But then a portal opens behind the Fleshmancer, and actual Rashad comes out, and picks up the Fleshmancer off the ground, and he's like, "Okay, buddy, enough of this Fleshmancer nonsense. It's time to finally go
time
home."
to go.
And
Are
they
they
leave.
And they
couple?
leave.
Yep.
I guess so, yeah.
And then Valer and Zale are like, "Okay, we're gonna go defeat the World Eater," and
Yeah, you got to do the whole shoot 'em up
Yeah.
section again, like from the original.
and they're like, "And we might not ever come back again because we're gods now." And Garl's like, "You're dumb. Come back soon, okay?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, I guess we will."
And then you get some more little cutscenes, little
More little
epilogues.
cutscenes, and then it's the far future again.
Yeah, but instead of Garl being dead, it shows Teeks walking. She's not with Garl at this point, I don't think.
No, I think she's also still telling the story, and then the kids are like, "Is it true they come back every year for the warrior chef's birthday?" And she's like, "Of course they do. He's their best friend."
Yeah, that's right. And then she walks into that like building that they're putting together, and she's like, "How's it coming along?" And he's like, "It's coming along perfectly." And Garl's like older, and he has like a facial
He's
hair.
pretty handsome. He's become a silver
Yeah.
fox.
Yeah,
And then he
and
He's a more age-appropriate Johnny
yeah,
boyfriend.
he's an age-appropriate Johnny boyfriend. And then he goes back to their secret hideout from the very beginning of the game and starts making a soup and or a pressure cooker bomb. It's hard to tell with Garl. And then Zale and Valer show up, and he's like, just turns around, and they're standing there staring at him, and he opens his arms, and he's like, "Get over here!" And they go running to hug him, and then it stops.
I'm so glad we consummated this throuple years ago.
I love this part because like they like materialize in front of Garl, and Garl just like pulls his arms out for a big hug, and they kind of like start to leap into his arms, and then it freeze frames.
Yeah, and it's like the
and it goes like sepia tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end.
And I actually found it really moving. I was like,
So did I.
they're friends.
Oh, I found it. Here we go. I'll put this little screen cap in the chat so you guys can see
I found it too, and I'm gonna send it before you do.
So I guess he was a hollerback Garl,
No.
right?
Yes, he was, and that's the real, true
Yeah.
ending of Sea of Stars.
And that's why they called the game Hot Garl Summer. Yeah, that's it. Sea of Stars is done.
Whoa, we
Good
did
job,
it.
everyone.
We did it, and then you guys did a lot more.
Walking around with you.
So I guess that leads us to the question. Roundly 4 is squarely against Vanessa.
I am roundly for Sea of Stars.
Whoa. You loved it.
I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was cute. I ended up really liking Garl. I liked the timed combat.
Garl, please.
I,
Go on, Garl.
yeah, it was just, it felt like exactly what it wanted to be, which was playing, like an old Super Nintendo era RPG. It's what they set out to do, and I think they accomplished it. How about you, Johnny?
I abstain because I think I'm gonna finish it probably this weekend. So I'll come back and tell you all.
Okay, finish it this weekend, record a little thing, and then Matt will cut it into the episode.
No, I
I
won't.
won't.
He's not gonna.
I'll put it on the Patreon or something.
All right, I'll go next. I'm also roundly for this game. It has a lot of like minor annoyances, which is like a lot of the dungeons are just like a go into this room and flip the switch kind of thing, but they're blessedly short. The writing got kind of annoying in a couple places, but like that's like feels like kind of a minor annoyance. The game's really well made. It looks great. It's fun to play. It's not overly long. It's not super grindy. It's a nice little short adult-ish RPG experience, and I liked it. Matt, what about you?
So I think this is a well-made game. I think it's got some good high highs. But just speaking for myself, I am squarely against Sea of Stars. I didn't love it. I didn't really even like it that much. I think that just for me, the combat was just not for me. It was I was bored every time I got in a fucking fight. I was bored out of my goddamn mind. And the writing was pretty good, but then really failed miserably in what I consider kind of the most important aspect, which is the main characters. Which is kind of weird, you know? I think it did some really great stuff with Garl, and I really liked all of I liked Sarai. I liked Rashawn. I liked Beast. I really liked the characters, but Zale and Valerie were fucking boring, and that made the game, for me, again, boring. I'm trying to really walk this fine line because I do think it's a well-made, gorgeous game, and I think that a lot of people would get a lot of enjoyment out of it. But speaking for myself, I didn't love it, and I said this earlier as a joke, but it's kind of true. Like it's very much like the Family Guy video games. It is just reference, 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 reference. And I want to say, like, in the first episode of this fucking podcast, I was like, of this season, I was like, oh boy, maybe it was the second one. You run into the guy that's like, I like mountains. And I was like, enough of the references. And then the game just kept hammering and hammering and hammering. And by about halfway through the game, I legitimately was getting mad when this stuff happened. Like, fuck you. Do something else. Do anything else. Come up with your own ideas. I was not having a very good time. I did finish the game. I did overall had some moments that I enjoyed. I liked the ending. I liked my dead Garl ending. I thought it was touching that these people had to move on with their lives with their dead friend. That felt true to me. And not this timey-wimey, whoopsie, switchy, witchy bullshit. True ending sounds fucking terrible to me. So
Actually, if you think about it, the part where they switch out a double for Garl before he dies is exactly
Just
what they
like Chrono
do to
Trigger.
bring Chrono back in Chrono Trigger.
it's fucking awful. It's not awful. It's just, you know, again, I'm trying to walk a fine line here because I do think it is overall a good game, but I am squarely against it. I'll never fucking play it again, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. So boo, Sea of Stars. I love being the person that gets to go last and complain. You guys are like, we loved it. It was a good time. It was a fun, great game. And I'm like, piece of shit. But that's how I feel, man. I didn't like this game very much. It was fine.
Well, that ends our series on Sea of Stars. Next time on Square Roots, we will be starting Thief, the Dark Project. Matt, I believe you said we're playing the first 3 missions of the game.
We're playing the first 3 missions of the game. Also, I don't know if I'm going to look right now. I don't know how long this sale is going on, but it definitely was, it's 97 cents right now, and the offer is good through the 18th of the month. 18th of January on Good Old Games. So if you are planning on playing along when this episode releases, jump on that, my friends. I mean, listen, it's $6.99 normally, so it's hardly breaking the bank, but everybody's got 97 cents to spare. So get on board, play Thief the Dark Project. It's an old-fashioned PC first-person game, so don't expect it to be pretty, but it's going to be a good time. I think it's going to have...
Okay, well, before we sign off, I would like to know how you, my friends, leveled up. Johnny, why don't you kick us off this week?
All right, I've been playing a lot of Sierra games. I think I talked about that before, but it's true. I've been playing so many Sierra games, and it's been fun going back and playing stuff I haven't really messed around with for 30 years. Makes me feel ancient. I have not touched King's Quest V since that game came out. Boy, the voice acting version of that game is awful. just the worst voice acting you've ever heard. Like Cedric the Owl or whatever his name is. Woohoo! I'm Cedric the Owl. Very gay. So that's going to go on my list of gay things in these games. Did I do anything else exciting? I mean, I went to Ottawa, but it wasn't fun. And, Oh, I started playing Animal Crossing on 3DS again. I don't know if I'll stick with it, but I didn't like that Switch one that much. And so it's nice to go back to a more classic-y Animal Crossing game. Vanessa, have you played any other Animal Crossings?
Yeah, I played the DS one a little bit, but I did like the Switch game, but that was so tied in with the timing
Pandemic.
of lockdown and then it becoming such a major social outlet for me that I can't really uncouple it from like just liking being in a virtual space with my friends. So, I don't know.
My daughter still plays the Switch Animal Crossing and really loves it. Like it's she's been playing
different.
it for
It's just a
years.
different game. That's all. I mean, it's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, it does have like different goals and kind of the way that you develop your town and stuff. But I also played quite a bit of Ace Combat 7 on my PC. That game is rad. I think if you want to play something it's not a big flight simulator. It's pretty casual. Like it sounds intimidating, but really it's like a shooter. It's very fun. If you have any interest in like if you used to play those old kind of basic flight simulators on PC in the 90s, it's a lot like that. It's really fun. It's really simple. You can land, but you don't have to really try. There's no flaps and things when you land. And you can skip it if you want. I don't know. I think it's fun. It's an old flight simi shooter. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it. What about Matt? How did you level up?
Well, I finished that book that I brought up last week, Fragment, which was
I wanted
a
to
kind
read
of
that.
like monster thriller. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It certainly didn't like hit the highs of your Jurassic Parkses and your Relicses. Like, it wasn't as well written as those, but it felt more like a B movie. If you were to compare it to
B-movie?
similar techno thriller things like that, yeah, I would call it like a B movie, like Jerry Seinfeld's in it.
Yeah, sliding into a lady's vagina.
Like it's a Jaws
Squish,
2 to a Jaws, but it was fun. It was a good fun time. I really enjoyed it. I did, based off of a Facebook post from patron David Shook, pick up the first Malazan Book of the Fallen books, Garden of the Moon, and started reading that again, which I have had like 3 or 4 false starts on in the past and have listened to on audiobook at least once, as well as a couple other books in those series, but it was so dense that I felt like I couldn't keep up with what was happening. Anyway, I started that, which is exciting. That's a big, long fantasy series, and I'm excited to get through it. I've torn through about 100 pages today, so clearly I'm enjoying it. And otherwise, not a ton. Haven't really played any new games. I've been watching a ton of movies, but not much worth talking about. But I did kind of want to bring up that I finally got around to watching the Warcraft movie, and I really liked it. It wasn't fucking amazing, but it was pretty good. It was a pretty good time. Maybe because I watched it on my iPad, the CGI didn't look nearly as bad as I expected it to. I've never heard a good thing about that movie. But I thought it was really good. Like, it's got a good plot that's not your standard fantasy fare. It does kind of a more nuanced take on
Well, it shows the orcs
villains
as characters and not just villains,
Yeah, very much so. And also, there's some good twists where some of the humans aren't that great.
Yeah. I liked
and,
how terrible that mage CG was, because I thought it was going to be fully animated, but it's got live action humans.
That was the worst part of
and
the
that
movie.
looks
was
like
the mage guy.
trash.
Yeah,
So,
looks
like, that
shit.
stuff, I didn't notice anything wrong with any of that. But, and I'll just say this again, I watched it on my iPad, so, like, I can definitely imagine, like, seeing that in a movie theater and it looking like shit. but on a tiny little iPad screen, it looked just fine. I didn't notice anything. There were times, actually, when I first started watching the movie, I was like, this is incredible. This is all CG. And about halfway through the movie, I was like, no, this is clearly like there is live action in this. But for a while, I was blown away by how good the CG was because I couldn't believe how good the live action scenes looked. But I thought it was fully CG.
That friend orc, the bald one, was he was cute. He was a cutie.
Yeah. Big, beefy orc boy. I like the orc designs from Warcraft. They're like
they're
fucking,
cute.
They're huge.
Yeah, they're cool.
But not everything in it worked. There was kind of a love story with the half orc and the guy, and that was kind of eh. But I really liked the end of the movie was not like the heroes win and everything's great and the bad guys get killed. It was more nuanced than that. Like people had to make hard decisions and there were moral dilemmas, and I was pretty shocked at how much I liked it. I definitely will add it to my rotation of, fantasy movies that I like to watch. It'll be up there with my Lord of the Ringses and my Labyrinths and my Legendses and all that stuff. Quick side note, I won't do a whole thing, but I did also watch Lady Hawk. What the fuck? What the fuck is Lady Hawk?
Is that the one with Nicole Kidman?
No, it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, that's right.
That's a weird one. I was kind of on a quick Matthew Broderick kick because I had watched War Games, which I really liked, but that was a weird Rutger Hauer. That was a weird one. Anyway, that's it. Jim, how did you level up?
I really don't think I've done anything significant since we last leveled up. I did finish my God of War Ragnarok playthrough, my third one, and I was moved to tears again by the ending. What an ending that game has. So good.
You're the only person on the podcast that's played it.
I know. Let's see. I've been playing Grandia 2 again.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Grandia 2 is good. I'm probably it's funny because the game clock doesn't stop when I put my Steam Deck into rest mode, so it says I have like 200 hours in the game. But I think I'm probably 15-ish hours in. Probably, I don't know. It feels like maybe I'm like 2/3 of the way through the game. I like it a lot. Super good. It's like a way better version of like the first Grandia's combat, which I thought was really annoying. This one's way better, and you can make liberal use of all of your character's abilities.
Oh, liberal? Then I'm not into it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just a good game. I was surprised. You guys know I have a soft spot for the first Grandia because I made us play it. And the second one is just as good, but it feels like a Grandia for adults, and that's fun. Let's see, Vanessa, how did you level up?
I watched a movie called Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul.
Whoa, how was that?
I really liked it. I loved the first 3 Wallace and Gromit movies. I was not as enthused about the 4th one. I think a lot of people felt that way. But this 5th one felt like a complete return to form, and it reminded me of my massive raging crush on Gromit the dog, who is the perfect man, except for being a dog. He's loyal. He is quiet. He's obedient. He's perfect, really.
Yeah. This is making me uncomfortable, and that's wild.
And he's so cute. Yeah.
He doesn't have floppy hair, but he does have floppy ears, and that's close enough.
Floppy-eared puppy. What else have I done? I finished the 2nd season of Squid Game, and I thought it was fine.
Oh, you were pretty into it when you first started it.
Yeah. I mean,
now it's just fine?
I think I liked it a lot better than a lot of people, from what I understand. I mean, I'd put it like a 8 or something. I thought it was good. I did think it felt like sort of half of a season, but it kind of is, because what they're calling season 3 is going to come out later this year, I think. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So if you're on the fence about it, maybe wait until the season 3 comes out, because that's going to be the last one, and maybe
Is it also 10 episodes?
this season 2 was 7 episodes. So I don't know how many 3 will be. I think a lot of sort of the pushback it got was that people are like, oh, it wasn't as surprising or full of twists as the first one. It's like, well, the first one was full of twists because you didn't know anything about it, and
Yeah.
it didn't have anything to live up to.
Well, and also the new season is clearly a cash grab.
I think the new season is just sort of...
It's mainstream. It's for jocks.
It's more of the same, and the same being an attempt to satirize South Korean society. And I think it succeeded in that. I thought some
Vanessa,
of the performances were
was-
good. I thought some weren't as strong, but that is the same way I felt about the first season of Squid Game.
Yeah.
Squid.
Johnny's hand is up. Vanessa's eyes are not on the screen, so raising your hand is not going
Yes,
to
Johnny, what can I do for you?
elicit a response.
I don't know if you saw on Blue Sky, Paul F. Tompkins posted about a certain show and saying he's now proud to announce he is not on the next season of Taskmaster.
Well, I personally did not expect him to be. I think that there was some speculation because they had teased that a prominent American would be on the next season of Taskmaster, and that
Jimmy
It's Don
Carter.
Jr..
And now obviously they have to
Oh,
cancel
no.
that because
That's why he died.
I think it's
Taskmaster killed Jimmy Carter.
I think it's a Don Jr.
Oh, no. Well, at least that keeps him out of politics for like 2 months.
oh yeah, that's a good point. I don't have anything to say about who it could be.
Okay.
I don't know.
But if it is the
All right.
person that we've already said that you think it is on the show, which is Jason Mantzoukas,
Bleep that out.
that would be
Bleep that
fucking
out.
amazing. No, I will not. We've
Are
already
you trying
said
not
it.
to jinx it?
Yeah, we
No.
have already said it, Vanessa.
No, it's a spoiler. You know,
You
they haven't
can't
done the
spoil who's going to be on a show.
they haven't done the official cast announcement yet, and people get very, precious about that kind of thing.
How do you know that for
People
sure?
being you.
How do I know for
apparently.
sure that they haven't done the announcement? I guess,
No, how do I know for you said if we said it, it's a spoiler.
yeah.
But
So
how do you know
it,
it
then
is?
it's a fact.
Vanessa does
Yeah.
not want to talk about this on the
Because we're
podcast.
talking about speculation, and you're calling it a spoiler.
Well, maybe someone told me.
James Acaster, your boyfriend?
Jim St. Hester is not my boyfriend. I wouldn't even call him
He's
a
your
friend,
lover.
to be honest.
Did your boyfriend Gromit tell
Yeah,
you?
Gromit.
God, is that what you?
Gromit is a prominent British celebrity, and he
Sorry,
That's your
He knows
in.
a lot of people in
I
production.
apologize. I apologize for calling James Acaster your boyfriend when he's clearly your husband. It's wild that you would say that he's not your friend, though.
A husband
If
is
Vanessa's
not a
in a relationship
husband.
with James A. Caster, that means Rowan Atkinson is going to be paying her a visit.
Well, she famously loves old men that can't speak, so watch out, James Acaster. You're going to get hurt again.
Rowan Atkinson can speak. He's very, like, you've seen Blackadder. He's very witty.
I
He may be able to speak, but he won't. Not if he knows what's good for him.
That mouth will be busy, Vanessa implies.
Aww. Rowan Atkinson?
yeah, she's into it.
All right, that's it for this episode of Square
Mister
Roots,
knows
but-
how to find the bean. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And that's what I call a bean valley.
No.
Downtown Brown.
Don't be.
Downtown Brown, all of
I
this.
will not.
All right, let's wrap up this terrible podcast.
Yeah. Before we go, I'll remind everyone we do have a Patreon at patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. That's where we keep all of our hilarious, relevant, erotic monthly bonus episodes that you can have access to by giving us only $3 a month. If you subscribe at the $5 level, you can listen to all that sweet content, plus you get the ability to vote on games that we play on the show. And no matter what tier you subscribe at, we do like to personally thank some of our patrons every week. And I'm going to kick us off this week by thanking Tom, Loafing Around, Amanda Pyers, Isaac Wright, Worked Muffin, Eric Pidkameni, Milk Shy No More, Josh Holt, Rubber Bear, and Ryan.
I'd like to thank God for the power of Andraste, Sexy Grandma's Retirement Home. Oh, you don't have the right. Where's your eyes? John Scala, Justin Ham, Daniel Wood, Something Witty, Chris Parsons, and Aaron Vanessa versus the Empire Brain Building Little.
I'd like to thank Respectable Dame, Dr. Fine, say everyone's name, Vanessa's mom, Mostly Rational Person, Brian Pitt, Lexa Varial, Jesse's Mom's Pizza, The Outsider of the Outhouse, Cameron Shoei, and Andy.
I'd like to thank Hexagon, Jabone, Ron, Julie, Tracy, Arthur A., Rachel, Jordan Mims, Joshua W. Roxon, and Wake Up Call. Make it happen.
Okay, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to send us an email, we're at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come join our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group, for smart, cool, very attractive people, or skeet at us at squarerootspod.bsky.social.
Oh, yeah, and rate, review, and subscribe on whatever services you use, like Spotify, like Apple Podcasts, is there still... I think that Google Podcast is dead. But I use Downcast or Podcast Addict. Both of those are good, and you can rate podcasts on that. So do it because you love the show and you want other people to know about it. Mm-hmm. Also, thanks to Stephen Morris for our theme. You can find Stephen Morris on YouTube. There's links in the show notes. He also has a Blue Sky account, but I don't see him posting much.
All right, for Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Van Zant.
And I'm Mrs. Gromit Dog.
Woof,
Bye.
Wow. I didn't make a peanut butter joke, so,